Yeah. The Tashara Parker Show. The internet's favorite cousin. A different perspective on news, culture, and hot topics. The Tashara Parker Show.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about today, and we have a lot to get to. In fact, we're going to have multiple guests join us throughout this morning's show. For those of you who are used to seeing us on at 11 a.m., we did push the show back an hour. And part of the reason that we did that is because, one, we listen to feedback, but we also listen to and watch for the times that you guys are logging in. So thank you for joining. Good morning to everyone. I see you over in the comments. I know my producer is going to get in the comments here in just a bit, welcoming you all in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're watching us anywhere else other than YouTube, go over to YouTube. I know we're going to drop that link in there as well. Go to YouTube, youtube.com/Tashara Parker. That's where you can like and subscribe to the page, and we would love for you to do that. That is the only way that independent journalism can continue to thrive, okay? That is the only way that it can continue to thrive. Thank you, Destiny, one of our YouTube family members. Not only that, she is one of the members of our show, so thank you so much for tapping in with us this morning. As I mentioned, we have so much to talk about. We had a great show yesterday with Colin Allred joining us to share, his policies and what he's looking forward to in his congressional district run. So outside of that, one of the things that was breaking news this morning, and I'm sure a lot of you, if you've been online at all, have likely seen this, and that is remembering civil rights icon Jesse Jackson. I did pull up one article that I was monitoring. This is from AP. You can always trust what they put out, the Chicago AP, Reverend Jesse Jackson, and then just kind of running through some of the ways that folks are remembering him. A protege of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and two-time presidential candidate who led the civil rights movement for decades after the revered leader's assassination died Tuesday. He was 84 years old. If you have no idea who Jesse Jackson is, which I am sure most of the folks who follow me absolutely know who Jesse Jackson is, I did want to share a quick video that I found that I feel like truly summarizes his life and his legacy, just to kind of give you a little bit of insight. Of course, no 5 or 6 minute video can do that, but I did want to share a little something with you.
Has died. For more than 5 decades, he stood as ABC News has confirmed Reverend Jesse Jackson has died. For more than 5 decades, he stood as a towering figure of the civil rights movement, rising to prominence in the 1960s alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a vocal champion fighting for desegregation and equality for Black Americans and marginalized communities, a fierce advocate for voting rights. Reverend Jackson was at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis the night Dr. King was assassinated. He was standing in the courtyard and was among the first to reach him after that fatal shot was fired. He founded Operation Push, dedicated to improving the economic status of African Americans and disadvantaged groups. A trailblazer and two-time presidential candidate, he ran for the Democratic nomination in 1984 and 1988. His Rainbow Coalition was designed to form a diverse alliance of African Americans, Latinos, Asian Americans, Native Americans, women, and the LGBTQ community. Reverend Jackson was visibly moved to tears when President Obama was first elected in 2008. The realization of his lifelong work and unparalleled victory of the civil rights movement. His life was dedicated to civil rights during some of America's most turbulent times. A legacy of steadfast activism, giving a voice to millions and helping reshape the American landscape. Here's ABC's Pierre Thomas with a look back at Jackson's life.
All of his life, the Reverend Jesse Jackson preaching, exhorting, demanding justice in a quest to help his people and nation overcome.
We ain't the bottom, we the foundation.
Always marching, civil rights nonviolent soldier. There he was, shoulder to shoulder with Martin Luther King Jr. after witnessing the beatings of Bloody Sunday on television. Jackson eventually became one of the top lieutenants in the critical Southern Christian Leadership Conference, which challenged the Jim Crow South's withering oppression. A witness to history, he was there on that fateful April evening when King was struck down by an assassin's bullet.
I tried to feel his head, and I asked him, I said, Dr. King, do you hear me? Dr. King, do you hear me? And he didn't say anything.
After a leadership struggle with King's successor, Reverend Ralph Abernathy, Jackson split from the SCLC and formed a new organization, People United to Save Humanity, PUSH.
Beautiful.
After Dr. King, I don't think anyone captured the spirit of America like Reverend Jackson, and he took the movement north. I think Jesse Jackson was the link from that generation of King and them all the way to my generation, and then the generation behind me.
The first wave of the civil rights movement had succeeded in breaking down significant barriers, but Jackson's primary focus was on economic empowerment.
We know that we are worthy of respect and protection, but nobody really knows our name, and so we're really still struggling.
He broke boundaries in politics, twice running for president, first in 1984 under the banner of a rainbow coalition.
Our flag is red, white, and blue, but our nation is rainbow. Red, yellow, brown, black, and white, we're all precious in God's sight.
In 1988, he was, for a time, the Democratic Party's frontrunner for the presidential nomination, winning 11 primaries and caucuses before eventually losing the nomination to Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis.
I'd rather go down in the stirring fight than drowse to death at the sheltered shore.
Jackson also took on the role of freelance international negotiator, meeting with some of the world's most brutal tyrants.
Overseas, the American black activist Jesse Jackson has become an intermediary in the Middle East.
In 1984, he met with Syria's Hafez al-Assad,
Goodman and the Reverend Jackson arrived at Andrews Air Force Base,
securing the release of downed American naval officer Lieutenant Robert Goodman. In 1990, he held talks with Saddam Hussein to free foreign nationals being held in Iraq as human shields. And in 1999, he went behind enemy lines again to meet with Slobodan Milosevic to negotiate the return of 3 American prisoners of war. At times, he was a spiritual advisor, counseling President Clinton in his darkest hour, facing impeachment over a sex scandal. But Jackson had his own moments where he fell far short of what he had championed. In the mid-1980s, facing controversy for allegedly making a highly offensive remark about the Jewish community.
I deny, and I do not recall ever making such a statement in any context that would be remotely construed as being either anti-Semitic or anti-Israel. However innocent and unintended, it was insensitive and wrong.
And as an ordained minister, having to admit in 2001, he had fathered a child after an affair with a former staffer. Although somewhat diminished, Jackson leaned in on his faith of forgiveness and redemption and kept fighting, keeping his eyes on the prize. He saw one of his hopes realized on election night in 2008 in Chicago's Grant Park.
America, I have never been more hopeful than I am tonight that we will get there.
He wept as President-elect Barack Obama delivered his victory speech. In recent years, the effects of age and a long illness had slowed his gait, but not his spirit. After the conviction of Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin for the killing of George Floyd, Jackson made it a point to be there in Minneapolis. Through it all, Jackson's faith and hope in what America could be endured.
America will get better and better. Keep hope alive. Keep alive. Keep hope alive. I love you very much.
Our thanks to Pierre Thomas. Jackson is survived by his wife Jacqueline and their family. Their children rather.
I did want to share this image. This was back in 2024. Reverend Jesse Jackson made a trip to Dallas, and a lot of you I see in the comments also remembering that moment because it was at the time when we were installing Reverend Freddy Haynes for the Rainbow Push Coalition. I actually hosted that event and was a part of that ceremony. But that was the first time that I had gotten an opportunity to meet him in person when he was here in Dallas. And even at that time, you can obviously tell that the disease was doing what it was doing. And so I just wanted to take a moment at the top of the show. I know we had a whole show planned out and we're definitely going to get to it, but I did inform my guests that I wanted to take that moment, especially with the breaking news, to remember civil rights icon Jesse Jackson, though without flaws, as many of us do have. Wanted to take that opportunity. So for those of you in the comments also saying that you remember when he was here, thank you, Deidre. I saw your comment. You guys continue to weigh in. We got a lot to get to today, but I did want to take a moment to do that. All right. So as we move on with our show, one of the areas you guys can continue weighing in the comments. One of the reasons that we wanted to do this show today, outside of the breaking news, of course, that came in, is today is the first day of early voting in the Texas primary. I know we have a lot of states that watch us. However, we talking about Texas this morning, y'all. And for those of you who have your primaries coming up after hours, just remember, some of you know this, some of you don't. I am based in Dallas, originally from Houston. So I am happy that we get to cover all things Texas primary. And I do want to bring in our first guest, Miss Elaine Campbell from the League of Women Voters. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I am doing so well. Thank you for that opportunity. Just to briefly recognize the civil rights icon himself. You were more than willing and said, hey, just take your time. So thank you for that.
Absolutely, of course. It's very much an honor. I was not able to meet him in 2024 when he was here, but I do have many friends who were there at that event that you hosted.
Yeah.
It was an honor for him to be here, and totally understand wanting to take that time to honor him.
Elaine and I met briefly when she attended our church Concord to help others get registered to vote. And you've been doing this for a little while, Elaine. So I first want to talk about the League of Women Voters and just really overall, what is the goal of the League of Women Voters? And then we'll dive into what folks need to know headed into this primary.
Absolutely. So I am the Vice President of Voter Services for the League of Women Voters Dallas. So I did want to make sure that the League of Women Voters is a national organization, but I am over the League of Women Voters Dallas. So I'm able to answer questions about Dallas County. And that is one thing that it's very important to understand. With the 200 plus counties in Texas, every county has but every county can possibly manage voting differently. So I know what's going on in Dallas County. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. And what we do, the League of Women Voters in general, we focus on making sure that voters are registered, which we all in Texas are actually doing a very good job of. But we're also focused on making sure voters are educated. We host candidate forums. We have our voters guide, vote411.org online, and then the paper voters guide that we put together. We are a nonpartisan organization, so which means that we are issue based, but we do not endorse candidates. We give every candidate the opportunity to complete our guide, and we print their answers exactly like they answer them. We do not edit their answers. If we see something that is a blaring, obvious edit, we may ask them if we have time. Are you sure? Do you want to change that? But we print it exactly the way they answer it. And thank you for displaying it. So we do have paper guides, but we have it available online where you're able to prepare. So you can put enter your address and look at your ballot and research every single candidate that is going to be on your ballot. The ballot for this early primary is going to be very long for every Texan. So we do ask people to prepare ahead of time. So that's what we do. And we're very, very busy right now educating everyone specifically about this primary, because this primary, the way it is being run, due to a voting decision that was made by the Republican Party. It is being run different than it has been run since 2019.
Can you, Elaine, explain that? Because you and I talked about this right before we came on.
Yes.
And again, for those of us who follow this stuff and follow it closely, we are well aware and familiar with what is happening. But I want to break it down to where folks that are watching understand. And I love seeing the comments, by the way. I just want to make mention of this. So many people are saying the polls are packed. I love to hear that.
Awesome.
The polls are packed.
Love it.
Wait in line. Do what you got to do. Okay.
Please.
So tell them what has changed this year that a lot of Texans may not be familiar with as it relates to going to vote on election day. And then, of course, with early voting, what we have right now.
Okay, so this is in Dallas County.
Dallas County.
So I want to reiterate this. Other counties may be doing it differently. I know what's going on in Dallas County. As part of preparing where you go vote, if you're in whatever county you're in, please go to your elections department website to determine where your vote center will be. So in Dallas County, if you vote early, we are using vote centers. So early voting is managed by the county. The county acts as a vendor, however, so the parties still have the ability to make some changes, which I'll talk about in a minute. Mm-hmm. Election day is managed by the party. So let's talk about early voting first. So actually, let's back up a little bit. I want to explain to people what a primary is, because believe it or not, there are people I'm finding out as I'm talking to different groups who don't fully understand what the primary election is and how important it is.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, Texas has one of the first primaries. We may be actually the first, having it in March. We have a very early primary. So we compare, and we have it on our website, we compare the primary election to the sports brackets and how the sports bracket works when you are at a sporting event. So number one, for the primaries, there are only the two major parties are the only two involved. And as a Texan, we do not register for a party, but when you go vote in the primaries, you have to choose, am I going to vote in the Democratic Party or am I going to vote in the Republican Party? Anyone who is running as an independent, there is not a primary in Texas. So so that will be your first decision. Am I going to vote in the Democratic Party or am I going to vote in the Republican Party? Mm-hmm. So even though you can vote, if you are a Dallas County voter, and you can vote at any vote center in Dallas County. You can do that. However, when you get there, and this is a change, this has not happened since 2019. When you get there, there will be a line for the Democrats and a line for the Republicans.
Whoa! I don't think a lot of people knew that was happening.
They do not. That's what I'm finding out, and that's why I wanted to explain that. So in early voting, so let's say you have a vote center, there will be an election staff, an election judge, clerks who are managing the Democrats, and there will be Ds on their equipment. There will be an election judge and election staff managing the Republican side, or maybe a different room. It depends on what's available in that vote center. And they will have Rs on their equipment. So that is a change. This has not happened since 2019.
Okay, Elaine, hold on. Now I love learning new stuff, and I'm tapped in. I'm understanding. I'm familiar with everything, but that you're saying. But this, I did not know that the machines were going to be separated by Democrats and Republicans, and there were going to be separate lines. If you're going to vote Democrat and Republican, and some folks might not want folks all up in their business, but now you're going to have to get in a line based on how you plan to vote.
That is correct.
By the way, for anybody who voted this morning, did you experience this? What was your experience? I hear you saying that it was long lines, but let me know, did you immediately notice the Ds that were on some of the equipment versus the Rs? I would love to hear back from you guys, but go ahead, Elaine. That's something that I was not familiar with. And I'm
Yeah,
I'm not ashamed to
that's why I
admit it.
wanted to mention it. We are finding out that a lot of people are not aware that that's going to happen. And I also am very interested in understanding what the experience is of the voters, if they're finding it easy to understand where they go to vote, if they're having challenges and their location, if they're having, I'm very interested in all of that as well. So, but yes, so they will need to stand in the appropriate line. So even if you see two lines, if one line is very, very long and one line is very, very short, make sure that you are in the line of the party you're going to vote for. You cannot just get in the shortest line because
Wow.
because that might not be your party's line that you want to vote for the primary. So
Okay.
yeah.
You look, you got the chat going crazy. Like, wait a minute. I saw Deidre say, I did not know, couldn't tell which is good, in my opinion. And then Deidre also mentioned that's why I'm guessing she voted earlier today. That's why it seems slightly different. It wasn't overt, very discreet. I know you can
Really?
respond to some of this because TC is saying Texas is on some BS.
Well,
We're
Texas
gonna leave
is
that
one of the
alone.
hardest states to vote in the nation. That is
Yeah.
a correct statement. That's an accurate statement. So,
Yeah. So lots of folks, I did want to make mention of something because we do have folks sometimes that tap in from a different states. And so you mentioned Texas primary is one of the first. It is, but also North Carolina, Arkansas also having their primary date today.
okay.
Mississippi follows us,
Oh,
and
okay.
then Illinois. So
Awesome.
I think overall that's what I really wanted. You've given us more than enough this morning, Elaine. Is there anything else you feel like folks should know going
Yes.
into? Go ahead.
One reason why we are highly encouraging you, please, first of all, this is Dallas County only. Yes, someone
Yes.
asked that. I am speaking about Dallas County. So we're highly encouraging you to please vote early, because if you wait until election day, the Republican Party voted to not have a joint election or not use vote centers, to vote precinct level. A precinct is a number that's assigned in your like geographical neighborhood. So you will have to go, let's say that you're at work, you have to go back to your neighborhood to vote on election day. And so at the Dallas County Elections Department, they do have your precinct listed, and the location where you're supposed to vote, whether you are voting Democrat or whether you are voting Republican. However, please keep in mind, again, this has not been done since 2019. So there are some challenges that are coming up, and it will be more difficult to vote on election day than early voting. Early voting started today. It lasts all the way until February 22nd. There are some weekend days. So please, we're
Yeah.
asking you, there's plenty of time to vote early. And please go to the League of Women Voters site if you have any questions.
Yep.
Happy for you to reach out to me at Voter Services VP at lwvdallas.org. I have no problem with that, because it's confusing. If you're confused, don't think something is wrong with you. It's confusing. And we want to make it as seamless as possible. That's why I'm doing as many of these events as possible. I'm going to another one on Friday, another one on Saturday. We're trying to educate people as much as possible, put things online, so people understand and have all the information they need to vote as seamlessly as
And
possible.
Elaine, I want to make sure I am sharing the correct website, or is there a different one for Dallas? lwvtexas.org, or is there a different one I should be sharing?
Yes, for Dallas, it's lwvdallas.org.
Okay. That's no problem. That's why we got the internet. We can make that change real quick. Okay. Hold on. Let me get over here. There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes,
Okay.
as you can see on the page, we have the bracket demonstration explaining what the primaries are, what that means. That's just an advertisement about our luncheon.
Sure. Yeah.
But yes, that's our website.
Okay. Elaine, I know you have so much more that you can share with us, but you have shared more than enough. I want to thank you for your time and thank you for those of us in the background, the folks that we have in the background, because again, we've invited a lot of the candidates to share for a few moments on our show and just to really get people hyped up and ready to get out there and vote. And I love that so many of you in the comments are already out there voting and standing in line. But Elaine hit us with the woo. I was like, now, wait a minute. Thank you so much, Elaine, for making time for us. Have a great rest of your day.
Absolutely. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, folks, as mentioned, we have so many folks joining us behind the scenes. I wish you guys can see our waiting room that we have right now. So I do want to bring in, I believe we have Miss Julie Johnson, Congresswoman Julie Johnson. How you doing?
Hey, good to see you again. How are you?
I am well. Thank you. And thank you so much for making time. Right now, of course, it says Texas 32 at the bottom, but you're running for Congressional District 33. So I want to talk specifically about, how are you feeling today? What are you looking forward to? How's the community been feeling? Tell me what's planned for your day?
Oh, well, it's a great day. We've got folks out at the polls. People are excited. I'm going to be out knocking doors, getting people to remind them to go vote. But we're really thrilled. I was, so excited to receive the endorsement last night of the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats. So I'm just thrilled about that. And I saw your piece at the beginning of your show about the Reverend Jesse Jackson. I got to meet him a long time ago. And when I was early in my Democratic activism, and, I'm struck by his sense of how we all need to be together. His coalition building is what we need in this country, and it's what we need in this time. And so to have the endorsement of the Coalition of Black Democrats is something I'm so proud of. And I had the endorsement of the Tejano Democrats, because coalition building is what we've been working on here and with all these folks. And I'm just so thrilled and humbled to have their support, and just really looking forward to get this voting on.
Yeah. So tell me, what do you have planned for today? Are you going out to the polls? Are you going to vote today? What do you have planned? What does your day look like?
Well, yeah, I'm going to go vote today. And absolutely, I always try to vote on the first day, and going to do that, going to do some polls, be at the polls for a little while. But, I like to go out and talk to voters. I go to the doors and, remind people that the polls are opened and to go vote, and, just keep putting that shoe leather in and go meet folks. And people are always surprised when a member of Congress is standing on their front porch. I think it's important that we go out and see voters and meet them where we are. And so I'll be all over the place for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, and Congresswoman, for folks who may have missed our conversation a couple of weeks ago or so at this point, I had your opponent, Colin Allred, on yesterday. I want to talk specifically about, what folks can expect from you for Texas 33rd District. Is there anything you want to share for folks who may or may not have been unfamiliar?
Oh, sure. Well, I've been in the trenches working hard for folks for a long time. I focus a lot on everyday issues that affect us all. Healthcare. I don't care who you are. Everyone needs to go to the doctor when they're sick. And when your loved one has cancer, you want them to get care. When your baby breaks your arm, you want them to get care. And that's a universal theme for all of us. And so healthcare is a big issue I've been focusing on. Affordability is another big thing. Housing, the cost of groceries, Trump's tariffs. I've been fighting on those issues quite a bit while I've been in Congress. But I sit on Homeland Security, and ICE and immigration is the issue of our time right now. And I've been pushing really hard on that. And there's some, really making sure that they're not funded, to make sure that they have restrictions put in place on what they can and cannot do, really holding them accountable and making sure that they have to follow the law and that our constitutional protections are in place. And that's been a real distinction between me and my opponent's voting record on immigration in particular. We really stand apart. He voted to allow all that to happen, and I voted to stop it. So, we're just out there communicating to voters as best we can and reaching as many folks. And I'm so humbled by the vast amount of support that we have in this district.
Where are you voting today? I saw some of the candidates put out, hey, meet me here at 1 p.m. I'm going to be in line right along with you. Do you care to share where you're going to vote at today?
I'm either going to vote at Oaklawn or at Lockwood. I'm not sure, but we're going to vote one of those two places. And I'm just going to get out there and going to see kind of where folks are. But we're going to go out there and vote and just be really excited about it. The right to vote is so critically important. And I sit on elections, and I've been doing battle with this administration that are trying to restrict and make it even harder for people to cast their ballot. And it's something that we must all stand arm in arm to preserve, because when they take away our right to vote, when they take away representative government, that's when it all goes to hell and we go into an autocratic, an autocracy, and it's just terrible. And so the right to vote, you got to exercise it. You got to do it.
Real quick, Rep, I just want to ask you about the SAVE Act, the more recent version of the SAVE Act. Any thoughts on, especially with what you just said, any thoughts on the SAVE Act?
Well, the SAVE Act has to be defeated. The Senate needs to hold the line. Everyone needs to call up and say, absolutely defeat this, because what it's going to do is, if you're a married woman, you're going to have to sign an affidavit to vote. That means you're going to have to pay a notary to vote. If you don't have a passport, you're going to need to go find one. Or find your birth certificate. So many people don't have access to either one of those documents. And, it's just going to really keep people from casting their constitutional obligation and their constitutional right to vote. And we already have penalties in place for people who vote illegally. So this is really voter suppression at its worst.
Okay. Anything else you want to add before you get out of here? Now, last time, hold on. Let me tell you this. Last time you said your favorite song on repeat was Hello by Adele. So any other song that you want to leave us with, or anything else you want to leave us with today?
I'm a child of the 80s. I'm 80s music all the way,
Yeah. Give me something. What you got?
I've got, obviously Journey's one of my favorite bands. It's the first concert I ever went to. You can't ever argue with Don't Stop Believing. That's how that's how I feel about this campaign. If I had to leave it with anybody, is please get out there and vote for Julie. Get out there and vote. I need your vote. We need your help.
Of course, you're going to use that last few seconds to say that. Thank you so much, Rep. Appreciate you. Good luck. Good luck today.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Talk later.
Bye-bye.
All right, folks, we have a lot of folks that are going to be joining us today. They're going to be in and out, just dropping a few words with us. I know we have our next candidate up, and I believe we have Michelle Butler joining us. Let me get her on in the studio. Michelle, how you doing?
Hey, sis. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. Now, you are running in an area where you're going to be making history. So I first want you to give folks some background briefly. Give them some background, where you're running and how you could make history in this race.
Yes. So I am running in Denton County, and I am running in Justice of the Peace Precinct 6. And if we're elected, I would be the first Black JP in Denton County's history. And
what does that mean for you when you hear that?
Overdue. And the fact that we're still in a place where in the greater DFW, North Texas area, where we're still making a lot of these firsts, it reminds me that there's still so much to fight for. And not only that, especially with the passing of Reverend Jesse Jackson, that fight continues to go on, and we take the torch, and we are responsible for making sure that they are judges and benches who look like you and I, so that we have equal representation. And it is our duty to step up and to run for these offices.
Tell us what the precinct judges do, Justice of the Peace, I should say. Tell us what you guys do for folks who may be unfamiliar, because sometimes when we're going down the ballot, you get down all the way toward the bottom and you're like, okay, I don't even know what this person will do in this position. So explain that to folks who are unfamiliar.
Yes, and I'm so glad that you asked this question, because for all of the races that we're going to be voting for during this voting period, Justice of the Peace is the one that I like to say probably impacts people the most at a more local level, because what we do in this court, we handle things like traffic tickets, we handle evictions, landlord and tenant disputes. We also handle small claims under 20,000. So that means like people who are getting sued by their credit card companies. And all of these things are things that touch people on a very basic level. And I like to always remind people that having a judge on the bench makes a difference, whether your case is going to be mediated and we find solutions for you, or you're going to be further pushed into the justice system and further escalated on the harm that you have going on. And one of the things that is always important for people to understand about JP Court is that we meet people at their most vulnerable times in their lives. So this is a court that is of great importance. We want to not further escalate people into poverty, and we want to give them the opportunity to thrive.
Why did you choose to run, Michelle?
So my background I've done a lot of movement building and electoral politics, and I know we'll talk about this tomorrow when I'm on the show. But I started noticing while I was the state director of Run for Something, running candidates under 44 offices statewide. In the 253 counties and 1,400 something municipalities in the state, I noticed that everyone was sort of running for what we call the sexy races. Everyone is running for state house. Everyone is running for Congress. And one thing that I noticed is that throughout all of the municipalities, all the counties, the Republicans either had full stack people on the benches. They had stacked people on all kinds of positions, some they even appointed. And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, this is a court that governs our daily lives, and we have not made the decision to start preserving these offices and holding the line. And it was super important because if you look at what is happening to our courts federally, the
Yes.
Supreme Court right now, for the foreseeable future, it's going to look conservative for the next 30, 40 years, right? So my children are coming in and they're seeing a Supreme Court that is going to be much more conservative than it was 20, 30 years ago when we had hope for the future. And so this is really an undertaking that I took on. I was like, I'm going to start with these local courts and get people more excited about preserving the integrity of our lower courts.
Anything else you want to add about early voting and reminding people to get out there? What are your plans for today? I know you heard me talking to Rep. Julie Johnson, but what are your plans for today? And just any advice or feedback you have up in Denton County. By the way, I do want to explain this because I do know we have a lot of folks watching us from not only all over the state of Texas, but from different counties and different states as well. Denton County is north of Fort Worth. Some of you don't know where Fort Worth is, and that's okay. So Denton County is northwest of Dallas County. Okay, so that's the biggest city that we have here. So just keep that in mind. And can you tell folks a little bit about, briefly before you leave, what's the makeup of Denton County? Is it more conservative? Did it go for Trump? Can you tell us a little bit more about the makeup of Denton County?
Yeah, so Denton County is very interesting in the sense of like it's very diverse population, young suburban working families, and the demographics of it were actually leaning a lot more Democrat, which is why this was one of the first places they wanted to get to gerrymander it. We used to have in Denton County a state house representative who was a Democrat who was gerrymandered out of that seat, and we also had a congressional seat, which was Texas 24, which was very well on its way to flipping. I believe at some point it was 3 points away from flipping, but they had to gerrymander it in order to put Beth Van Dyne in it. And so it is such a diverse population of folks. We've got two huge universities. We've got TWU, UNT, and a local community college. And we have a vibrant Asian community, a vibrant African community. So we're intermixed here, and we are a vibrant, large population of working families. And which is why I think that we present a threat so much every single time when they're redistricting and targeting, that we're always one of those tier counties. I like to tell people that Denton County is a tier 2 county where it is garnered to be one of those counties where if it flips, then it looks really great for the rest of the state.
Anything else you want to add today about what your plans are?
Yes, so I'm going to be out there talking to people at the polls, shaking every hand, answering every question. We're a down ballot, low information race. I want to be able to talk to every voter and answer every question. But more so, I think my message on my way out of the door with the passing of Reverend Jesse Jackson is that I recognize the fight before me. I stand on shoulders of giants. In order for Michelle to even exist and come on the show and say, I'm running to be the first Black MVP, somebody had to come before me. And I want to honor that sacrifice by making sure that we run for office, but also that we go out there to the polls and exercise this right that so many people fought and died for us to have, so our voices can be heard. We are truly our ancestors' wildest dreams. And as I go there today and I go fill out my name on the ballot for the first time, I'm going to get a little bit emotional, and that is going to be my tribute to the late Reverend.
Now, I didn't ask you to come on here and have us all emotional now. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's a
Michelle.
heavy day. It's a heavy day. But one for
Yeah, it really is.
yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I saw someone in the comments, Deirdre Dickens, and I apologize if I mispronounce your name, saying Flip Denton County. Let's go.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
Oh, Michelle, thank you so much. Good luck to you. We're rooting for you. And again, we'll chat again tomorrow. So thank you again for making time for us today. I know a lot of you are so busy as you're trying to get out there to the different polls. So have a good rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
You too. Thank you, Tashara.
You're welcome. Okay, folks, I see you all tapping in to the conversation. Hold on, let me get I believe we have Barbara Mallory Caraway joining us as well.
I
Let's
am.
see.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, but you're turned sideways.
I was on two devices because I couldn't. Well, anyway, now you can see and hear me, right?
Yes, we can. Thank you so much. If we can get that banner change for Ms. Caraway, I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, so you're running for Texas 30. For those of you, the redistricted, the gerrymandered Texas 30, which is Jasmine Crockett's old district, and you're running against Reverend Freddy Haynes, and you have one other opponent as well. You have two opponents, excuse me. So I want to talk specifically for folks who missed our conversation that is over on my YouTube page. If they want to see the full video, what are your plans for today? And tell us how you're feeling.
Well, I'm feeling great. Today, I will be traveling the polls from the locations to see what is going on. It is always like opening curtain, up curtain on during a production. So I'll be traveling from poll to poll. I don't know if I'm going to vote today because typically what I do, sometimes I vote early, but I'd like to go to my polling place on the day of elections to share with my voters in my precinct. So I may or may not because I'll be traveling all over the district.
Okay, well, look, and you made time for us. We certainly appreciate that. So, real quick, just tell folks again who have no idea about the Texas 30 race, but they're in your district, right? Tell us
Yes.
what makes you different from your opponents.
Well, I am different from my opponents because I bring more than legislative experience to the district. I was served on the city council in Dallas for 8 years, in the Texas legislature for 6. And so I bring the necessary tools and experience to get the job done on day one. And so I am running. And I must say this, Tashara, that one thing that really concerns me about this race is that I actually live in the district. Pastor Haynes does not live in Congressional District 30. He lives in Congressional District 33. And what bothers me about that, that was recently brought to my attention in terms of, and I was reminded that when Jasmine Crockett was considering whether she was going to seek reelection in 30 or 33, she said that she was going to poll the voters to make sure that even though she lived in 33, that she was going to be winning in 30. Pastor Haynes has not consulted the voters to see how they feel about him living in 33 and winning in 30. He has not said anything about it. So I think that the most important thing is the transparency and the fitness to run for office, because Washington right now, it does not have any of that, and that is what I bring to District 30.
I want to share something, Barbara, because I have a lot of folks that are saying they saw the news yesterday and some quote unquote controversy. So I want to share something with you, and I would love to get your feedback on what's this all about. Voting controversy, pastor on ballot raises concern for conflict of interest at Dallas polling site. Do you tell me what do you feel about this? Do you really feel like that there's going to be some conflict because there's a polling site at Friendship West, as there has been for the last several years?
Well, here's the point. Freddie Haynes has not been a candidate for the last several years. And I clearly believe that it is not only a conflict of interest, but it is clearly a violation of public trust because if you're and then they say, well, it's not illegal. That's what's wrong with Washington. That's what's wrong with the fact that Freddie Haynes has not disclosed to Congressional District 30. I don't live in 30. I live in 33, but I'm running in 30. It's transparency. It is the belief that people actually serve the people, not themselves. And I truly believe that it gives an unfair advantage to the candidate that is the senior pastor at Friendship West, and yet there is a polling place that's being paid by the taxpayers to hold that election. So that is the transparency, that is the conflict of interest, and that is the undue influence of elections that we have seen and people have lost trust in.
What do you feel like you would be doing to help folks, I'm guessing, regain that trust in DC?
Well, what I have done throughout not only my years of public service, but my private life, because there is to make sure that I am transparent, upfront, that I am going there to serve the people, to let the people know what I'm doing, to engage them in what's going in public. And I will not try to profiteer from my public office. And that's very, very important. They can look at my record. They can look at my record and they will see that I have none of that baggage that some of our elected officials as well as our candidates have.
What are you insinuating there when you say none of that baggage?
Well, you can say that because Reverend Haynes promotes justice and equality. And since you asked the question, but that Friendship West, along with him being the senior pastor, was sued for discrimination. And just as the lawsuit was being getting to settle, there was the fact that emails were about to surface between his secretary, whom he eventually fired, and she filed a discrimination suit between her and Jeremiah Wright. So, in the promotion of release the Epstein files, someone may say, well, release the Friendship West files. And so, since you asked that, I have not, what I typically don't do is run negative campaigns, but that is not negative, that is a fact. And so that is what I'm talking about when you promote one thing, but you're really about something else.
Okay, I want to say allegedly only because I have not been able to verify that information myself, but I do appreciate you sharing it. I do
Well,
have
you
a
don't have
question
to
in the comments.
wait, let me say that. You don't have to
And
say
real quick, I just
allegedly.
want to say
Wait
this,
a minute, but
Barbara.
let me
I have a
clarify
question
that.
that's saying,
It's not
tell us about your
allegedly because
platform.
it's a matter of public record.
Oh, absolutely. But what I always want to be clear on this show is that I need to independently verify something too. But I do appreciate you saying that a matter of public record. One
Okay.
thing, because, and the reason I bring that up too, Barbara, is because the reason I brought you on today is because I want folks to know your platform. And that was a question that we just got from D. Kenner saying, okay, well, what is your platform as opposed to obviously some of the other things that we just talked about?
Well, my platform is very clear, as it has been during my years in public service, is that I have always worked for quality, affordable health care. I have always worked for quality and equitable education. I will continue to work to make sure that people have access to government. I will make sure that they have access to me. I will make sure that we work for affordability in terms of housing, in terms of income equality, and to make sure that they all have a voice, and that I will work towards upholding the Constitution and not for individuals.
Okay. And Barbara, one of the things that I don't think you've touched on at all, and you and I went into great detail in our interview together, but telling folks where you've served beforehand prior to
Yes.
running for this office.
I served on the Dallas City Council, representing one of the most diverse districts in the city, congressional for City Council District 6. I also served in the Texas Legislature and I represented District 110. I have been a Democratic precinct chair, and I have a legacy, particularly in the city, where I have been able to work and to deliver for my constituents and for the city. And so that bears in mind that we really, really can depend on the leadership of Barbara Mallory Caraway.
Okay. Barbara, thank you so much for joining us and making time. I'm glad we were able to figure out you on two screens. And I guess you and my producer worked it on out because everything looks good, sounds good. So thank you. Good luck
Thank
today.
you. All
Yeah, I know
right.
you're going to be stopping by a lot of the polling places. So
I
appreciate you joining
am.
us.
All
Okay.
right. Thank
Talk
you.
later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mhm.
Okay, folks, we have several folks that are going to be dropping in today. Thank you so much for all of you for tapping in. Destiny over on YouTube. Thank you so much, by the way, for being on YouTube. Saying that love to see all the candidates dropping in from all over Texas. And yes, we even have candidates emailing us right now. And I know my producer is behind the scenes working to try to get them on. Our next segment is in about 10 minutes or so, but definitely make sure you are tapped in. I want to hear from you. Can we remove that banner, please? I do want to hear from you guys. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if you have voted today. And if you want to join us on the show, we would love to talk to you too. You can email us media@tasharaparker.com. We may or may not be able to get you on today. Who is this? Miss Dickens saying Miss Barbara has added some heat this morning. Baby, listen, honey, y'all cutting up. Now, I believe we did put out a call to Reverend Freddy Haynes, and I believe that he plans to join us later on. I'm seeing my producer shake her head yes. And so hopefully if we can get Reverend Freddy Haynes on later on during our show, he'll be able to drop in and just, share what his plans are for today. Again, definitely make sure you like this video. Make sure you are commenting. Make sure you are sharing the video. If you're watching us anywhere else other than YouTube, make sure you, again, share the video, comment, like, all the things. The only way that people find out about the work that we are doing is if you guys help us share the content. I love that we were able to get so many people on. I have her putting in a call for some other folks that we are trying to get on today, but I do know our next guest should be coming in here shortly. So let me know, you guys, how did today's go? How did your voting go today? Let me see this. What does TC say? Oh, Lord, child, I just be trying to keep it peaceful over here. We trying to keep it peaceful. But one thing I will say, you guys, if you know anything about primaries are always fairly messy, and it always starts with candidates saying, and I'm not just specifically talking about Barbara Mallory Caraway. Candidates often will say, oh, we're not going to run a messy race or negative campaign or whatever the case may be. But it always, often, I won't say always, I don't want to use absolutes, but it often ends up that way, right? They'll say they're not going to do that, and then it happens. I think that has been so evident in the Texas U.S. Senate race, right? With everything that we're seeing with Jasmine Crockett, and hold on, I'm getting a message here, and James Tallarico, and how that race has been playing out. D. Kenner say they be lying. I do hear that we're getting a guest that's joining. I just need some information on him so that I know what race he's running from. I know my producer is listening in the background, but we need to know what race he is running when we are adding folks in. So definitely let me know. Destiny say we all fighting for the same mission. Absolutely. Absolutely. So definitely you guys continue to weigh in. Let me know how you feel. I see some of you actually went to the polls today. Let me know how today was for you, okay? Let me know how today was for you. Hold on. We are... Okay. So we got some Tarrant County love coming in. Okay. So, William, we're going to come to you in just a second. I see you just joined us, so give us about 2 seconds to make sure we kind of reset the room. Remy Valentine, thank you so much for weighing in. Oh, no, TC says, I think the GOP wants Tallarico, easier to beat. Oh, wow. Okay. So glad we're having this forum today. All of my meetings were canceled so I could watch. Thank you, Conda. Certainly appreciate that. And I see you're over on YouTube. Appreciate that big time. So again, if you guys are just joining us, make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Appreciate you guys being here. Someone said, are you only covering Dallas? No, actually, we had someone earlier. I'm pretty sure that was on the Tarrant County side, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll go through some of those. And we actually have somebody that's coming on from Tarrant County right now. So let's go ahead and bring in William Marks for Texas 25. Thank you so much for jumping on today. How you doing?
Hello, it's a beautiful day. The sun has just come out here in the southern part of Fort Worth, Tarrant County. I'm at the Southwest Sub Courthouse, and there's a decent showing for day one.
When you say decent showing, about how many people you're seeing in line?
Well, there's no line, so there's no wait time. But I can tell you, earlier this morning, I was way up in the northern part of Arlington at the Elsie Odom Athletic Center. There was almost no one there. I was a little surprised compared to the November election. But here in the southern part of Fort Worth, there are more people. But yeah, there's no wait time.
Okay, well, that's good to hear because I did see some folks earlier in parts of Dallas County, if I'm not mistaken, or actually Yolanda in the comments, I believe you said you voted over in Tarrant County as well. So, William, tell us where you're running. I see Texas 25, of course, but tell us a little bit about you so that folks can know who you are.
Yeah, thank you. It's a little windy, so let me know if the audio is hard.
You sound great.
My name's William Marks. I'm a 22-year Navy veteran. I'm a combat veteran, son of a public school teacher, husband of a nurse. I'm a true blue Democrat. We're running to defeat Roger Williams here in Texas, Congressional District 25. District 25 was amongst the most gerrymandered in all of Texas. So right now it runs all the way from DFW Airport through Fort Worth, and then it goes 2 hours west, almost to Abilene. So a massive district, hugely gerrymandered, but very important for everyone to realize. When Republicans gerrymandered us, it's going to backfire because my district, Texas 25, became more competitive. So it's a tight race. It's going to be a close one in November.
And that's William Marks again running for Texas 25. I do want to ask you what separates you from your opponents in 25.
Yeah, so I do have a primary, but what I tell folks is I bring my own career of achievement, my own career of service. I was selected to lead a United Nations briefing team at the Pentagon. I was selected to brief the Vice President of the United States on intelligence issues. I rolled out a $160 billion budget from the Pentagon. And most importantly, I took on the Trump administration once and I defeated them. So I'm the only candidate who has already defeated the Trump administration once. And if I did it once, I can do it again.
And William, you mentioned where you were right now. Where are you located again? What polling place?
The Southwest Courthouse. It is in the southern portion of Fort Worth.
Okay, and have you voted yet?
I have not gone in, mostly because I have my T-shirt. So I have to change. You can't wear your T-shirt, so I have to change.
Can't you just zip up your jacket and go ahead and cast your ballot? Oh, no. There we go. Somebody calling you, William.
Yeah, I think I can zip it up and I should be okay. But I've got all these. I'm talking to people. I'm meeting people. I'm probably going to wait until the parking lot is a little less crowded, then I'll go in.
Okay, I understand. You got to make sure you get the message out and remind the folks that your name on the ballot. I understand what you mean. Anything else, William Marks, Texas 25, that you want to share with folks?
Voting is your power. Voting is your voice. Do not let them take it away. Whoever wins the primary, whoever comes out on top, the most important thing is that we defeat the MAGA party in November. Whoever is the best candidate for that, vote your heart, vote your voice, vote with your power. But at the end of the day in November, we've got to come together and take back the House of Representatives and the Senate. That's the only way we're going to take back our country.
William Marks, thank you so much for jumping in. He's one of the folks, y'all, that wasn't on our plan for today, but he saw us live and he was like, look, I want to jump in and talk to folks too. That's what I appreciate, William. Thank you. Good luck today, and we'll check back in with you guys later.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Okay, folks, I love that so many people are, again, just popping in. And that was really the goal for today. Yes, we had folks that were scheduled who we scheduled yesterday. But at the same time, I think it was important to allow some wiggle room so that if folks wanted to jump on and hop in and ask questions, they could do that if they wanted to share their platform. I wonder if we can get Colin Allred. I believe Amani is checking on that in the background, making calls on it. But definitely see if we can get him to jump on for a few minutes and share his platform, especially since we had his opponent on this morning. But Marvin, you said we'll reconnect. No problem. D. Kenner, this is great. Thank you so much. Yolanda, I saw you voted at TCC, Tarrant County College Southeast. She says they were efficient and complimented her "I'm Black and I'm proud" sweater. I know that's right. Period. Because one thing we're going to do is represent. Because listen, y'all can't really see it in the video here, but I do have on my Loud Woman shirt because, yes, we're going to be loud and proud wherever we go, and we're going to represent. So, Yolanda, I love that you shared that over in Tarrant County so the folks can know that you are loud and proud about it all. So thank you guys so much for your comments. We do have another one of our candidates that just joined the conversation. And so I do want to go ahead and bring up, let's see here. Oh, look, I see. This is what I love about this is that we can drink our coffee, we can have conversations, and we're going to do just that. So Chris Turner, how you doing?
Good morning, Tashara. I'm doing great. How are you today?
I am well. Thank you. I see you got the whole setup behind you today.
Well, I do. I've been out at the polls this morning talking to voters, and but came back to the office so I could talk to you here and to your audience this morning.
I really appreciate that. So, Chris, tell folks what you're running for, what district, all that good stuff they need to know.
Absolutely. So I'm Chris Turner. I'm the state representative in House District 101. That's the southeast corner of Tarrant County. So that's Arlington, Grand Prairie, and Mansfield. And I'm running for re-election because I want to continue fighting against these MAGA Republicans like Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton, who, just follow Trump's orders blindly and are doing so much harm to our state right now. But also want to continue to fight to get results for our district, protecting our local public school funding, bringing back money for parks and for UT Arlington, passing legislation to protect the disabled community in Texas, and continuing to work on the issues that matter to our constituents and helping constituents with concerns that they have with state government every single day. So that's why I'm running. We're getting a great response from the voters, and now's the time to vote. So we want to get people out to the polls.
Yeah, you got to keep saying your name as much as possible. So when they get that long ballot, it is so long. When they get that long ballot, they can remember some of the names. So again, Chris Turner, Texas 101. So you already voted today. I see the I voted sticker there.
I did.
Okay, so how did it go for you? Did you see the separate lines? Some folks say it wasn't as overt as maybe they thought it would be.
It went fine for me. It was pretty quick. There wasn't a huge crowd. I voted at Vernon Newsom Stadium in Mansfield, which is near my home, and the election workers were very professional and very efficient. It is a long ballot. You are right about that. Every statewide office is on the ballot this year. Just about. There's a lot of judicial positions on the ballot, and then the Democratic Party has added a dozen, 13 propositions at the end of the ballot. So that makes it a little bit longer. But all in all, it still goes very quickly. I was in and out in about 10, 12 minutes, I would say.
Oh, that is not bad at all. What else do you want to tell folks about what makes you different from those you are running against?
Yeah. Well, I think the key issues in this race is who has a proven record of effectively fighting back against MAGA Republicans like Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton and delivering results for our community. Because Democrats want fighters right now, and that is my record. I, as chair of the Democratic Caucus for 6 years, and even after serving as chair of the caucus, I have helped lead the fight in Texas, whether it was for voting rights, to protect our public schools against racist housing discrimination that we saw from some HOAs in North Texas. I have led the fight, but I've also been someone who's been effective at delivering results for our district, like cracking down on the Sharon Appraisal District when they passed a policy that was shortchanging our public schools that we did last year. Or, as I said, delivering state funds back to our district. So taxpayers in our area get a return on the dollars that they send to the state, and we're able to improve the quality of life for people here in Southeast Tarrant County. So I want to be able to continue that work.
First day of early voting, Chris, anything else you want to share with those who plan to get out and early vote?
Well, listen, I hope that everyone will take advantage of early voting. Early voting, as you say, today is the first day. It runs through a week from Friday. So from today until February 27th. In Tarrant County, the hours this week are 8 to 5 through Friday, and then 7 to 7 on Saturday, 10 to 4 on Sunday, and then 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. all next week, Monday through Friday. So I'll be out at the polls, moving around to different early vote sites in Southeast Tarrant County. I hope to see you at the polls. Please come by and say hi if I'm there when you come out to vote. Just exercise your right to vote. It is so important for our state and our country to make your voices heard. This is the power we have as Americans. We need to use it.
I see folks in the comments saying, bring all of your people with you to vote. And I would say that too. Okay.
Amen.
Chris Turner, Texas 101. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Tashara. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Of course. Okay, folks. So as I mentioned to you, we're going to have many of the candidates coming in and out, just sharing their quick little nuggets to remind you, one, of their names if you plan to go out and vote today, and also of their policy platforms, etc., so that you know who you're voting for today. Voting hour reminders and key information. Oh, I can absolutely do that. Hold on one second, because I did have that pulled up. Hold on. I sure did. Let me make sure I didn't drop the link anywhere. Now, wait a minute, because y'all know I be saving all my links so that I can make sure I can share it with y'all. So I had an article pulled up earlier. One moment. I am so happy that so many of you are on here and that you are jumping in for the conversation. Let's see here. This might be a little something to help us out. Let me try to share this link with y'all. We have our next guest joining us in just a little bit, but I can share. I got time to share this. Update the banner, please. This is what I was looking for. Add that in. Here we go. Okay, so a reminder about, again, Texas primary, who's on the ballot, as mentioned, all the statewide races, and then you guys know the federal races, which that's one of our biggest ones, involving Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico. They're both running to unseat John Cornyn. But again, before they can get to that point in November, as a reminder, what you're doing right now is you are choosing who is going to represent you on the ballot in November. So I know it may sound like there's a lot of voting, et cetera, going on right now, but this is to prepare for the even bigger races in November, okay, when they'll go up against their opposition. Okay, so where do you go vote during early voting? You can cast ballots at any polling location in the county where you are registered to vote on election day. Okay, some counties, Dallas is one of them, may require you to vote at a location specific to your address. We mentioned that earlier. The way you can find that information is on the Texas Secretary of State's website, and that is sos.state.tx. I'll share it with you. Hold on. sos.state.tx.us. I know that's a lot of letters to remember, but that's how you can find some of that information, okay, if you're looking for that. Even if you just Google where's my polling place and then just put your zip code, oftentimes you can find that information as well. It shouldn't be too difficult to find, but I want you to be aware that if you choose to wait until election day, we're hoping that by continuing to share all this information that you don't wait until election day and you kind of just knock it out. All right. So you can call your polling places and talk to the folks there to make sure you're going to the right place. Polls are open, most of them 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on election day. But again, you can find that information by visiting the website that I mentioned to you. And this is the Texas Secretary of State website, sos.texas.gov. That's just one place where you can find that information. What do you need to vote? You'll need one of 7 types of valid photo ID. This is not for those of you who have already cast your ballot because you guys already knew what to take with you. A state driver's license, election identification certificate issued by DPS. You can have your personal identification card, license to carry, et cetera, and it goes down a list. So those are some of the things that you can take to make sure that you can go ahead and cast your ballot and they can identify you. We gave that site earlier. Thank you, votetexas.gov, 214 cited. I appreciate that. We did share that site earlier, and we've been sharing that site all throughout the week. As a matter of fact, I don't mind pulling that site up so that y'all can have the information that you need. We're going to give out whatever site is going to help folks get to the polls and get to the polls expeditiously. VoteTexas.gov is the site that 214 cited mentioned. So thank you so much for that. Let's see, who do we have on here? Carlotta Mixon, thank you. Appreciate it. The Texas Tribune always has some great information about the candidates. Yes, it does. But as independent media over here, we going to have it too. Thank you so much, Yolanda, but they are certainly a great resource, and we're going to support them whenever we can. This has been a great start to early voting. Great job to the team. Yes, I have my team behind the scenes making it happen. Trust me, because we have been working all day and night yesterday to put this on. The idea just kind of came in my head, and I was like, we got to get everybody on, and we need to get them on expeditiously, okay, to kick off early voting, because I want people to be excited about early voting. Like, this shouldn't be a time where you're like, oh, I got to go to the poll. No, we are not doing that. We are excited about early voting, and I can promise you, once I get off here, I'm going straight down the street to cast my ballot, okay, in Oak Cliff. That's my, no, I'm just kidding. I will be going to cast my ballot, though, as soon as I get off here. But I wanted to bring as many folks as we could to the forefront to have this conversation so you guys know what to expect. Thank you, Ronald. Again, I got to remind y'all of this. If you are watching us on YouTube, please, or anywhere, please remember to like, share the page, all the things. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I always want to remind you of that. The more you hit the thumbs up button, the more you share this video, the more you comment. It helps other folks find out about the work that we are doing on the Tashara Parker Show. This is independent journalism. We're doing it our way. You guys know I was formerly was with Legacy Media and really learned my chops there. WFAA for the last 5 years. And then prior to that, different stations across the state of Texas. And so, again, just remember that this independent media space is all on me, okay? All on me. So I'm going to put it on y'all too. So continue to support. Make sure you like, hit the thumbs up button. We would love for you to become a member of the Tashara Parker Show. All you got to do is click that join button. We have very affordable memberships on youtube.com/Tashara Parker. And that's how you really support the work that we're doing over here, along with those of you who are liking, those of you who are commenting. All of it matters. And at the end of the day, make sure you hit subscribe and tell 5 of your friends to hit subscribe as well. Certainly appreciate that. 214 Side says these daily early vote totals going to be tracked and studied like. Yes, we will definitely be tracking the early voting. Okay, I do see that we have another candidate joining us, and I'm going to bring her online. This is Tracy Shelby. Hi, Tracy. Good morning.
Good morning.
So happy to have you join us. Ms. Tracy was also added this morning, and I love that we're able to reach out to folks on the day of, and they are willing to hop in. So tell us about Civil District Court 298, and tell us about the office that you're running for, and a little bit about you.
I am so excited to be here with you. I'm such a girl fan of yours. You are my shero. Not only that, you my soror, and I miss seeing you on my television every morning. But thank you for having this outlet for us. I am standing behind you, supporting you in this independent journey you are on. You are
Thank
a
you.
blessing from God for us. So, a little bit about myself. I am running for the 298th Civil District Court. I'm originally from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So, from Arkansas, I went to law school at Thurgood Marshall School of Law. I have a master's in law from Georgetown, clerked for two federal judges, then went off to Dartmouth College and got an MBA in finance and real estate at Tuck School of Business at Dartmouth. Then I came to Dallas. And in Dallas, I started doing what I call God's work.
Mm.
Um, our underrepresented community was facing foreclosures. And you know, when the black and brown community face foreclosure, what do? We pray to God.
Yeah.
And and pray to God, and we don't share our struggles. That opened doors for people to take advantage of us. So Save Your Home Company was knocking on our doors, telling our aunts and uncles and our grandparents that they can save their home. But what they were actually doing is stealing their homes. So
Mm.
I got involved because I looked at the community as my family, my grandparents. Black and brown community work for one asset, that is the home. So I got involved. I walked away from real estate private equity, came back to practicing law to do that fight. And I did that fight pro bono. I was able to come up with a strategy, take them off to bankruptcy court, get the judges and the trustee involved. We were able to reverse the wrong, make it a right. We were able to get the title back in their name and get the money back. So that what has led me to run for civil district court. Civil district court is a court all civil. We deal in judicial foreclosures, breach of contract, business litigation, medical malpractice, personal injury. My court is all about money, 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 money. So if you suing anybody and you want some big money, you come in the civil district court. So with that said, the court does I feel that we're elected and that the court has to have a balanced job, balance
Mhm.
between those who can afford high powered attorneys and those who cannot. And I feel that our court is imbalanced when it comes to those who cannot afford high powered attorneys. So I want to be the candidate to come in and make that little scale, that justice scale, make it a little bit more balanced. And
Mhm.
I want to
Cuz
come
it's
and
always swaying. I want to say that.
it's swinging. Yes, it is. And so I want to be the candidate that comes and make sure I fight for those who cannot afford that $500,000 attorney. I believe everyone who has received an injustice or has a lawsuit, if you pro se or with an attorney, you have a right to come to court. And when
Yeah.
you come to court pro se, the court will tell you this is not justice of the peace court, small claims court. This is court of record. You have to be able to practice law just like an attorney, get your evidence in and go through the whole trial. That intimidates to small people because they
Yeah.
cannot. So I want to come be the person come there with a little bit more compassion. What I'm planning to do on the bench is have a quarterly pro se orientation, walking people through how to get your
Tracy,
case.
you're saying some words that folks may not understand. So what do you mean when you say pro se?
Pro se means you representing yourself
Got it.
without an attorney.
Mhm.
So attorneys, we have cheat sheets. When you're trying to get evidence in to make objection, we have cheat sheets. We have discovery cheat sheets. So in my orientation, I'm going to bring all those cheat sheets to the small person and show them the process of walking through a lawsuit. I can't practice law or tell them how to practice law, but I can give them the tools to do a little bit better. So I want to be able to be the voice for the people behind the scene. I want to kick and scream. And then I want to also be the voice for the people to help them to have a better chance of keeping their case in court and getting their case and receiving justice. I tell the people that I'm of the community, by the community, working hard for the community. I'm trying to bring fairness and justice to your doorstep.
I want to ask you, Tracy, because I can only assume what you mean when you say small person, and maybe everybody else understands what you're saying when you mention that phrase. What does that mean? Like, is that the least of them? What does that mean when you say that?
The small person are the ones who cannot afford an attorney. No, the attorneys are expensive. I'm an attorney, and
Yeah.
I know I'm expensive.
Yeah, y'all want that
So
coin.
even if you get a new attorney out of law school, they're 250 an hour. The average person cannot afford to go and pay an attorney 20, 40 hours time 250. And talking about the great attorneys at 500, $1,000 an hour. So when I said the small person, the little person, the moms and pops who are just working hard to stay afloat, that who has an injustice that needs to come to court. I want to make sure I empower them to be successful in the courts.
I love that. Tracy, real quick, what makes you different than your opponent that you're running against in this primary?
What makes me different is one, my experience. I have 26 years of experience, not only in civil litigation cases, I have experience in finance, and more importantly, I have experience in our community, and last, I have life lived experience. See, my opponent has only 8 years of experience and only a one particular type personal injury. In civil district court, you're gonna have all different cases. Can we follow the law? Yes. Will we be fair? Yes. But sometimes to be able to judge if a witness being honest, to be able to see how a case need help, you need some lived experience. You need to be involved in the community to understand if I have someone on there that may be a little bit nervous, that they're being truthful, but that may be a way part of their culture. So
Yeah.
I'm bringing all of that to the bench, and I'm bringing my want and my desire that each person in Dallas County, no matter if you make $5 an hour, $1 million a year, that you have a court that has a voice, that you have a court that you receive justice, and then you have a court that I can bring fairness to your front door.
Okay. And that's the mic drop moment. Tracy Shelby, Civil District Court, the 298th, I should say, Civil
Yes.
District Court. Thank you so much for joining us today and making time. We know a lot of y'all are busy. You getting out to the polling places, doing what you need to do. But I'll repeat your name as much as I can, Tracy Shelby, because there are a lot of names they got to get through before they
Yes.
get down the ballot. I have a sample ballot pulled up right now, and I'm just like, woo, 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 woo. And then we finally get down to the
And
justice
maybe you can
races.
show the people the sample ballot because they don't know
Sure.
how long that sample
Sure.
ballot is. I
I
think that'd be a good
absolutely
thing
can.
for them to just to see when you say sample ballots. I got one in front of me. It's 4 pages.
I got you. Hold on. And a reminder, this is in Texas. This is Dallas County in particular. And so it definitely looks different depending on where you're at. So this is a sample ballot, you guys. We're not going to show all of it. Well, I guess we can scroll through some of it, but it's pretty long and you don't get down to the judge race. So like your name is down 298 is down here. Can y'all see my cursor? No, you can't see it. Okay, but it's there we go. Down in this section. 298. Okay. So you got to keep scrolling and keep scrolling and keep scrolling. It is a long ballot. So I do want you guys to be reminded of that. There are also 13 propositions. Thank you. Patty just mentioned that. 13 propositions. And I know Rep. Turner also mentioned that earlier. And those are all at the very end. These are those propositions that Patty is talking about. So yeah, the ballot is long. So as you're going through this list, if today's live will help you with anything, at the very least, you can remember some of the names and what people talked about and whether or not these are the folks that you want to vote for. If I'm just being quite honest, I have to say that. But make sure you understand who's on the ballot. So you're not just going in there and saying, oh, that name is one I like. You don't even know what that person stands for. So make sure you know who these individuals are. But that ballot is long, as Tracy mentioned here. And again, you don't get down to y'all's race until what's this? Is this the second page? The second page. And then 298th Judicial Court listed here, Tracy Shelby Williams running against Ashley Smith there. So Yeah, Tracy, thank you for recommending that I share that, because I do think that is something that is very important, and it is a lengthy ballot. So make sure you had your breakfast or your lunch or your snack or whatever you need as you go in. Anything else, Tracy, you want to
Yes,
add
I
before you
want
get
to
out of here?
encourage the voters to go
Yes.
to Dallas County Election Department, do voter lookup, put your first name, last name, and your date of birth. Click on your sample ballot for your address, print it out, do the work at home. You cannot take your cell phone into the voting booth or bring it out, but you can have paper. So if you do your work at home, fill it out. Only thing you're going in there is looking at your ballot and transferring it to the electron. So once again, I'm Tracy Shelby. I'm running for the 298 Civil District Court, and I look forward to receiving your vote. I look forward to coming on the bench and fighting for you. More importantly, I look forward to continue to watch Miss Parker grow in her space and become our independent voice to let us know what's really going on and give us the truth about the news and about politics in in community. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my Sora. Thank you, my Shiro. And thank you for being a blessing for God for all of us. You have a fan with me.
Oh, Tracy, don't.
You
Thank you.
are a Shiro. So keep
Thank you.
fighting when things get
Yeah.
hard.
Oh, yeah.
And I was telling my friend quickly, Marvin Sapp, he's my bonus brother, but he had this song
Yes.
called Close.
Hmm.
When I felt things got hard, I played close. But it says that when you about to win, everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Miss Parker, you about to win. And you
Thank
about
you.
to blow up. Everything is about to go wrong because the devil doesn't want God gift to shine. So you just hold on tight and say, devil, you don't got me. Whatever
Yeah.
goes, know that you in the God space, that God has you, and just continue to push forward. And I am gonna put on my cheerleader outfit and my Delta shirt, and I am gonna jump up and down and shake my pom poms because you are a God blessing to us. Thank you for being you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, you know I got many interviews to get through.
Well, I'm sorry, but you are. I just wanted you to know sometimes when people on television, you don't know the blessing, how you changing people's lives
Yeah.
because you moving so fast, you got a lot of different
Yes.
things. But
Yeah.
you are a blessing and you need to know that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tracy. Now go and get
Yes.
out of here now.
I am. I'm heading to the poll. So y'all come on meet me at the poll.
Tell
I
them where
need
you
your
gonna be
votes.
at.
I'm heading first to Duncanville. Then I'm gonna make my way to DC 3, to Cedar Hill. Then I'm gonna go up north and check on my poll workers, making sure they working now, making sure they getting the vote out. So I look forward to seeing all of you all at the poll. Come
Yeah.
by, say hi to me, ask me real questions, ask me the tough questions. I'm going to answer them because I'm the person who's going to have your back when I get on the bench. But thank you.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye bye.
Tracy.
Okay.
Appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
Oh boy. Yeah. This is usually my snot rag because my nose is always running. And Tracy was a late ad today, so I didn't expect any of that. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I need a whole different like video on the word that we just got today. But yeah. Whoo, Lord, have mercy. We got a lot of other folks to get to. I need to get myself together. Y'all hold on for just a second. Hold on 1 second. Give me like 1 minute, please. Hey cousins, thank you so much for watching. Your support is how we keep going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. I know you hear me say it all the time, but all now I don't know why that thing came on there. Thank you so much for your patience. One thing that I love about this show is that it allows room for vulnerable moments and moments that maybe we did not prepare for. So yeah, we're going to continue on because we have a lot of folks scheduled to come in and talk to us as I am looking in our green room. If we can update that lower third, that banner, please. We do have Junior Izzanu who is joining us. We had Rep. Chris Turner earlier, and that is who Junior is running against. I know a lot of you are very familiar with Junior because he has joined the conversation before. Junior, how you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, we're so happy that you made time. I know y'all are running around today doing all the things. So, Junior, real quick, just remind people of who you are real quickly on any platform or policies or whatever you want to tell our folks.
No, definitely. Well, thank you again for the opportunity. And future Judge Shelby definitely gave you a word right there, and I loved it because she was preaching. But yeah, my name is Junior Izzanu. I currently serve as the mayor pro tem for the city of Grand Prairie, but I'm running for State House District 101 to represent Arlington, Grand Prairie, and Mansfield in the state legislature. The main reason why I'm running is because we need change here in Texas and nationally, especially within our party. We need younger, fresher ideas, leaders that are ready to fight the crazy, insane policies that the Republicans have put on, and as well as to fight for issues like raising wages here in Texas, making home ownership affordable again, not just housing, home ownership. People are able to buy homes, and also fully funding our public schools and protecting our public schools. So those are some of my priorities, and I'm just excited to be here to chat with y'all again.
Yeah, Junior, I want to share a quick message as I'm reading through some of the comments. Destiny saying energy, Yolanda Bledsoe saying, yes, Junior, tell him the sisters said hello. And then some other folks just weighing in. So yeah, thank you so much for all the comments. You guys continue to weigh in. And remember, you can ask questions. If y'all have questions while we have them on here, ask the tough questions, okay? Because we just trying to highlight some of the things that they stand for. Junior, one of the things that we talked about last time around, and you've kind of alluded to this already during this conversation, is that we need some new energy, right? So as a Gen Z candidate, you've really broken barriers, I should say, in the races that you've run in the past. So just talk about like what that means with that new, fresh energy in this race.
Yeah, I think just going for my first race when I was 22 years old, challenging another incumbent that had been in office for 12 years in Grand Prairie, the fresh energy also comes with fresh policies that are going to impact our futures. A lot of folks in my community, in my district, are either parents or grandparents, and they want their children to have a better world than they had. They want their children to have a good life like they had. And we're seeing now for the first time, a lot of people in the Gen Z generation or millennials are struggling just to put food on the table or to get an apartment, to buy a home, or suffering from student loan debt. There are so many issues that are at the forefront. And I think if we want to see change in our states and our country, we have to elect people that are change agents, people like Jasmine Crockett, people like the Reverend Freddy Haynes, people like myself that see these issues as paramount to our communities and addressing them as vital to moving our communities forward. And when I say youthful energy and the exuberances, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to advocate for my community. I'm ready to fight for those that fought for me, that allowed me to become the young man that I am today, and to advocate for them once elected.
One of the comments that we have says you support small businesses. Tell folks about that support of small businesses. What have you done, and what really is on your platform to iterate like what that means for you, I should say.
Yeah, so I support small businesses personally with my own dollars. I go and patronize a lot of different businesses in my communities, whether it's in Grand Prairie, it's Arlington, or even we have some residents in our district that have a sweet treats place in DeSoto. Miss Bledsoe and her sister, it's amazing. If you haven't been there, you got to go there, but be careful. Don't eat everything all in one day like I did, like an idiot, but it was just too good. The food was too good and I loved it. shout out to them. So supporting them with my own dollars is one thing, but also creating programs within the city while being a city council member that helps small businesses, especially minority-owned businesses, historically underutilized businesses, be able to secure government contracts, make the procurement process more fair, so everybody that's able to provide a quality service or good that the city needs has an opportunity to bid and win those contracts. And we're now seeing on the state and local level with the anti-DEI and anti-hub legislation and rules that the state government has put together, it's making it harder for people of color to have businesses to thrive and also secure opportunities. And that's something that I'm gonna push back on once elected. But something else that people don't really talk about is if we truly believe in supporting small businesses, our legislation at the state level needs to show it, right?
Yeah.
The state finds dollars and money for everything that is a priority. If this is a priority for us, we need to set up a fund that provides low interest loans for historically underutilized businesses and minority-owned businesses, as well as grants that people can qualify for, and create a more streamlined process. What I've seen as a council member, there's so many small businesses that want to expand, but they can't expand because they lack access to capital, or they just can't afford to go through the cumbersome process to receive that capital or that grant money. And we have to just streamline it, make it easier for them so they can expand, grow, and hire more people. Because the better the small business does, the better our communities do. And now we have folks in our community that are doing well that can pour into other parts of our community.
And I do want to make mention, since you brought them up, they're always in the comments because they're supporters of mine as well. But if you want to go to Two Sisters Sweet Creations, I'm just going to toss it out there because that's what we're here for, to support each other and the work that each of us are doing, that we can all come together to support. So that's their website, twosisterssweetcreations.com. And they're obviously out here doing the Lord's work with them sweet treats, okay? And I'm with Junior.
I'm telling you.
Do not eat it all. You can buy a lot of it. Do not eat it all. Real quick, a funny story, Junior. Every time for the holidays, my grandmother always reaches out and she's like, "You gonna bring one of them cakes home?" I'm like, "Girl," she loves their German chocolate cake. And so even sometimes when I forget to order one ahead of time, if I reach out to Two Sisters and be like, "Y'all know I'm trying to come get the German chocolate cake," and they're like, "Come on down. We gonna have it ready for you." So I love that.
Let me tell you. So I got 2 cakes on top of all these other cookies and all these other treats that I got. I got the German chocolate cake and the carrot cake.
Yes.
I'm telling you, the first day I got it, I ate half of the food. The next day, I literally ate the German chocolate cake, which is it's a big size piece of cake, right?
Yeah.
And then I ate the carrot cake. And that was my dinner one night. Shouldn't have done it like that.
Junior.
But it was my dinner. I have a sweet tooth. I have a problem, so I gotta be careful.
I am with you. I have a problem. I have a sweet tooth, and that's one of the things, even as I work out a lot at night, it's always at night too. Yes. At night, I don't care what I've had for dinner. I can be full as all get out. I'm going to need just a little, it can just be a little piece, but I'm going to need a little piece of something very sweet. And Two Sisters know what they be doing. Real quick, Junior, before I let you go, anything else you want to share with folks? Like, what does your day look like? Can folks meet you at the polling places today? Where will you be? All that good stuff.
Definitely. So we've been out since 8 a.m. this morning, been at the Newsom Stadium in Mansfield, the sub-courthouse in Mansfield, the sub-courthouse in Arlington, the Water Utilities Department in Arlington, whereas Bob Duncan Center, we're all over the place. You'll meet somebody there. If you go and vote, you will see somebody wearing a Vote Junior shirt. It may be my parents, maybe some volunteers, some of my staff. There's going to be a lot of different people. Go out there. You may meet me. I have a council meeting this afternoon at 4:30. So I'll be leaving the polls around 4. So if you want to see me today, stop by either TCC. I might be at TCC or Newsom Stadium or the Water Department Utilities place in Arlington. Those are the 3 locations I'm gonna stop by at before I go to City Hall. So I'd love to see you all. Please get out and vote. I don't care who you vote for. I'd like for you to vote for me. I don't care who you vote for. Please exercise your right to vote. It's our right as Americans. And, if our vote is our voice, and if we don't use it, we lose it.
First of all, I love that your parents are out here doing the legwork with you. I love that. Second thing is, as you just mentioned, if you don't use your voice, you lose it. And with Jesse Jackson passing early this morning, I think is imperative as a reminder that we need to get out there and do what we got to do, because we're still fighting, unfortunately, not the exact same fights, but some very similar fights are happening right now. So I agree with that, Junior. Thank you so much. Good luck today. We appreciate you stopping in. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Take care.
Of course. Okay, folks, that was Junior Izzanu for the HD 101. Again, him and Rep. Chris Turner are running up against one another. And so I love that he was able to stop in and just provide some insight. We're going to have a lot of folks jumping into the conversation. Amani, I guess you're texting me. If you come off mute, can I hear you? Let's see. No? I'm going to add you to the stage.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Let me get the banner off.
That's our producer, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you in the background. So let me remove you. We'll talk via text, okay? She didn't know I was going to pop her up. She's so funny. Okay, I'm going to remove you. Okay, so folks, thank you so much. We have so many more folks that are going to be joining us. I know she's in communication with some of them behind the scenes. TC says he is a salt person. You know, I used to be like that, but sweets all day for me. All day for me. All day. And Deidre, let them know you got to be careful with that salt, baby, because that high blood pressure and everything that salt contributes to. Destiny said the ballot was long. I know it was. I know it. You know what I love about these comments right now? Let me just tell you what I love about the comments right now. And if you are on Facebook, definitely you can still tap in and leave comments, by the way. We want to hear from you, especially if you got questions, comments, concerns, etc. We want to hear from you. And so most of the comments on here that I'm seeing right now are from YouTube. Are we catching on? Are we catching on to the YouTube vibe? Okay. So make sure you continue commenting. Let me know where you're watching from. I didn't get to do that earlier because we kind of jumped right in head first talking about Reverend Jesse Jackson passing. So let me know where you're watching from, all that good stuff. Let me know if you have voted and if you are registered to vote. If you're not registered to vote and you can't make the primary, don't feel horrible. Like, don't feel bad, right? Go get registered to vote. Like, maybe that's what you can do today. Make sure you get registered to vote today. Okay. Get registered to vote. That way, when November comes around, you're ready to vote in the general election that happens in November. So if you can't vote in the primary, right, helping to pick the candidates that are going to be on the ballot in November, definitely make sure if you can do one thing today and it's not, you missed the deadline to register to vote, make sure that you register to vote today. For everybody else who did make the deadline and register to vote, please go out and exercise your right and exercise your right early. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you again. Continue to like, share, subscribe, all the things. If you want to join our community, like Remy Valentine became a member of the Tashara Parker community. Hold on, let me see if I have I thought I had like some little let me see if this if y'all can hear this. Hold on. I feel like we need that every time somebody joins our community. So if you want to become a member and support independent journalism, thank you so much. You can do that by hitting the join button. We have some very affordable memberships. And I will say the First Cousins membership, I believe that's our highest tier of the membership. With that membership, we're going to have opportunities for you guys to join me on live and have conversations, all that good stuff. And we'll obviously have some exclusive videos and live streams that we will also be sharing with our First Cousins. Y'all know the First Cousins be your closest cousins, okay? So we got play cousins, we got first cousins, and then I think the first tier is loud cousins or something like that. I would have to definitely make sure that I go back in and check it out. So thank you so much for becoming a member of the page. I appreciate that. Who is this? Tanisha says, I went to find a sample ballot off the Dallas County website. It couldn't find my information. And oh, Tanisha, we're going to have to check in and see what's going on there because we cannot have that happening, okay? Remy Valentine, again, thank you so much for becoming a member of the Tashara Parker Show. Okay, so we got another guest that just joined. I know some of y'all was like, Reverend Haynes gonna come in here. He probably didn't hear none of that conversation earlier. So I'm so happy to welcome, let's see here, the Reverend Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes III. How you doing?
Hey, to the amazing Tashara Parker, our storyteller par excellence, activist, advocate for all that's right and righteous.
I appreciate you joining us as always. So tell us what's happening today. I see you already moving around. Tell us what's happening and where you're headed to.
Well, thank you. Today is the first day of early voting. It is so important. And Tashara, I find it, poetic, even though it's painful, that Reverend Jesse Jackson made his transition early this morning. And all of us know that so much of what we enjoy by the right to vote is because of Jesse Jackson. And a few of us have said that we're going to double our efforts now to register people to vote, to mobilize people to vote, because he did so much so that we could have the right to vote. And so, yeah, I've been moving around from voting site to voting site because he's one of those who, shed blood, sweat, and tears so we would have the right to vote.
Reverend Haynes, we had your opponent on earlier, and for those of you who are unfamiliar, Reverend Haynes is running for Texas 30. That is the district that Jasmine Crockett is in right now, but also the district that Eddie Bernice Johnson was a part of. Now, it's the gerrymandered, let me be very clear, district of Texas 30. And Reverend Haynes, real quick, you want to just talk about your platform so that folks can understand what you represent?
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Number one, I've been an outsider fighting for what's right, fighting for justice for all of these years, 4 decades at least. And so I want to bring outside values, outside voices, our voices, and an outside vision in the House. Every pun intended. The bottom line is we got so many insiders in the House who benefit themselves at the expense of the people. And so, because democracy at its best means people power, I want to bring people power to Washington, D.C. And the things I'm fighting for, number one, economic security through economic justice. The bottom line is right now the economy works for just a few and not for all. It has become increasing.
He may have hit a rough patch there. Oh, it was getting good too, wasn't it? Let's see if he come on back in here. I'm going to remove Reverend Freddy Haynes from the stream. You want to tap in and see if he's... Oh, there we go.
Back in stride again.
Yeah.
So again, sorry, we're moving around, but again, it's very important that we have an economy that works for all of us, and that we have not just minimum wage, but a true cost of living wage. How much does it cost to live, to, have kids? How much does it cost to go to school? How much does it cost to pay a mortgage? How much does it cost to, have child care and health care? A true cost of living wage is what I'm pushing for. And then secondly, environmental justice, because the sad reality is too many of us, our life expectancy is not determined by our genetic code, but zip code, because of environmental injustice. And then finally, we're going to end the war on our communities and this country that's being perpetrated, especially by this administration. That means we got to fight back. We've got to fight for what's right. We've got to fight for justice. I've been fighting. That's what I do. I want to take the fight inside the ring.
You got some fans in the comments. Two sisters, Sweet Creation, saying they are here with you, always in stride, and just talking about how much they support you. So thank you all for weighing in. I did want to make mention of this, Dr. Haynes. We had your opponent on, Barbara Mallory Caraway, earlier today. And one of the things that she mentioned is that you are no longer living in Texas 30. And transparency is what this race should be about. And so I wanted to ask you, did you want to address that at all for folks that are watching?
Oh, yeah, no question. I have no problem with sharing that I was moved out of District 30 by the racist redistricting that took place through the gerrymandering of the special session that was called by the governor of Texas, who was brown nosing with the president. And he moved me out of District 30. He moved Jasmine Crockett out of District 30. And I just say to, my opponent, I hope you are as upset with the process of voter suppression, racist redistricting that took me out of my district that I've been in for 40 years. For 40 years, I've been in this district, and through redistricting, I was taken out of the district. So before you get upset and think that that's something to talk about, I hope that you were in Austin and Arlington like I was when I was fighting against the racist redistricting. I'm gonna move as fast as I can, but the bottom line is, for me to have to move to vote in my district is sick, and it's a part of the Republican gerrymandering redistricting that took place. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm more upset that Jasmine and I are no longer in that district. I'm upset about what was done to make that happen. And so before you go off on the symptom, you need to take a good look at the cause.
Okay. Well, that's that. Did you have anything else you wanted to share with folks today before we let you go?
Well, again, I just think it's so important that we vote. My heart is heavy because Reverend Jackson is no longer with us physically, but I'm inspired by his life, his legacy, his ministry. And that's why we all have to vote. He believed in a multiracial democracy, even when this democracy did not believe in us. But he fought for it, he lived for it, he died for it. And may all of us, especially during early voting, take advantage of what he fought for and participate in the democratic process. I hear you saying, I don't do politics. Guess what? Politics will do you. So you might as
Every
well do
time.
it.
Every time. And I wanted to share this earlier from your event,
Yeah.
Pastor. This was back in 2024 when you were inducted
Yeah.
as leader over at Rainbow Coalition. And I just wanted to, Rainbow Push, Coalition. I
Thank
just wanted to share that. But thank you for giving me the opportunity, because that was my first time ever meeting him in
Wow.
person. So
Wow.
thank you again, Reverend Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes, Texas 30, folks. So when you're at the polls, I'm giving this platform for folks to remember some of the names that you're going to see on this very lengthy ballot. But get out there, have your coffee, make sure you eat your snacks in the car, and get out there and make it happen. Pastor Haynes, thank you so much. I think we lost him for a second there. I know he's moving around. I was trying to see if it was going to come back. Okay. So we certainly appreciate Pastor Haynes for joining us on today's conversation. For those of you who are just joining us, again, we are allowing folks to come in, share their platforms, and briefly just tell us about who they are, and really so you can have some name recognition too as you go out and choose who you're going to vote for in the Texas primary election. For those of you who don't know, just as a quick refresher, the primary election is when you vote for the person who is going to be on the ballot in November. So we have to get through the primary season before we can make it to November. I know some of you missed the registering to vote, for the primary season, but definitely make sure you get out there. And if you can't actually vote today, make sure you go register to vote today. Okay. So you don't have no problems come November. All right. So that's just a reminder on all of that. And I'm going to show you again that sample ballot that we have. And this is specifically for Dallas County. I know we have a lot of folks watching from Tarrant County, folks from across the state of Texas, which is great. We had some folks up in here from Denton County, and then other states. Your primary, there are a couple of other primaries that we're up against right now, but I know Texas is one of the first primaries. If I'm not mistaken, I believe like Arkansas and maybe, hold on, let me see if I still have that pulled up. I thought I did, maybe not. Okay, I may have gotten out of that screen. But Texas is definitely one of the first primaries of the year. And there are about two others. Can we update that banner, please? And I believe we have a couple of folks that have joined in on the conversation. So I do want to go to Judge Kim Cooks. Hello there. Good morning. Can you hear us?
For some reason, why can't I?
We hear you. Oh, you know what? It's probably hooked up to your Bluetooth for your car. So you may have to turn your Bluetooth off so you can hear us. But we can hear you and we can see you. No? Okay. So I'm going to... Can you hear us? Mic check, mic check. Okay, so we're going to remove Judge Cooks, and Amani, if you can work with her to get that situated. Go ahead and update that banner for us, and then we're going to bring in Commissioner Alisa Simmons. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I am doing well. We got our setup ready today, huh?
Yes, girl.
Okay, you're running over in Tarrant County. You're obviously right now the commissioner for Precinct 2, but tell folks what you're running for county judge, and also just update us real quick on your platform.
Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I am Tarrant County Commissioner Alisa Simmons. I am currently serving as the county commissioner over here for Precinct 2. Precinct 2 is Arlington, Mansfield, Kennett, down Worthington, Pantego, Benbrook, Crowley, Burleson. I'm your current county commissioner. However, I am running.
Commissioner.
Yes.
I don't know if that's on our end or what have you, but it sounds like there's a lot of static.
I hear it now.
You hear it? Are you hooked up to a do you have a microphone or something hooked up to your phone? It's just the phone.
No, just the phone.
I don't know where that static is coming from. So let me let me remove you and see if I can hear if it's just me. So you stay there. I'm going to remove you and see if it's on my end. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to a one shot. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me just fine? I'm trying to see where that static is coming from. Can you guys hear me? I see some thumbs up. You guys in the comments, let me know if you can hear me just fine. Yeah? Folks are saying they appreciate us having them on. Commissioner, okay, everybody's saying they can hear me clearly. So I'm going to bring you back on and see if that static is still there. And what we may do is have you exit out and come back in. So let me bring you back on.
Okay, all I heard when you were talking was static. So I heard the static.
And see, oh, they say that it's coming, it's something that's coming from your end with the sound. Because when I kicked you out of here, it was fine. And so what I want you to do is to go out and maybe just come back in, exit out of the link. Okay. All right. Hey, that's what this is all about. Let's update that banner for me, please. And then Amani, if you can work with Commissioner Simmons and just see what's happening there with the audio. So I'll kick her from the studio for now, and then you can work that out with them as they rejoin. I see Judge Kim Cooks also just rejoined again. The static was back after we got Commissioner Simmons on, but she's going to check it out and figure it out. It's okay. We're going to work it out. But that's why we love that we can do it our way, right? Yolanda is funny. Yolanda say, look, static or not, Tim got to go. That is too funny. I know Judge Cooks is trying to work out her audio as well, and it's all good. That's why we use this platform, folks, so that we can see and do what we got to do. Yes, Amani is in the back. That is our producer, and she's working some things out to try to get that audio taken care of. Judge Cooks, I don't know if you can hear me in the background, but I do see that you just rejoined. And I love that we're able to provide this platform so that other folks can get in here and share their messages. So for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, which it's not a whole lot of you, make sure that you go over to YouTube. That is youtube.com/Tashara Parker. That is how you support independent media and the work that we are doing. We would love for you to become a member, and that is youtube.com/Tashara Parker. Make sure you subscribe to the page. Make sure you like it. all that good stuff. That is where it pays off, folks. That is where it matters. Okay. So Dr. Kiana, thank you for tapping in. Aboye, thank you for tapping in. Elaine, mentioning that the static was back. Yes, she's trying to work that out in the background. Judge Cooks, just wave your hand if you can hear me properly. All right. Okay. So let's get on back in here. Amani, if you can update that banner for me. How you doing? We got some sound?
I'm doing well.
Okay, we got sound. There we go. Okay, so tell folks, Judge Cooks, what you're running for 194th Criminal District Court Judge, and also just tell them a little bit about your platform.
Okay, so I'm Judge Kim Cooks running for the 194th Criminal District Court in Dallas County. It is a felony court, the highest trial level court in the state of Texas. And I'm the only one in this race that has district court experience. Is it an echo? Is it too loud?
Nope, you sound great.
Oh, okay. So I've been a licensed attorney for 24 years. 13 of those I was a criminal defense and family attorney. For 8 of the years I was a family judge, and for the past 3 criminal judge. So I have the experience. And the reason why I'm running, so I have a black son. And I've seen the injustice of the criminal justice system. And I've also had a nephew who had to go through the criminal justice system where my parents, it was a determination of whether my parents put up their house for the bond. And I couldn't let them do that because I knew my nephew was a flight risk. So I had to go into my savings and take out cash to put up that bond. So I know how important it is to go through the criminal justice system. And it's important for our African-American men, our minority men, and they need someone who is compassionate, someone who will make sure that there is due process from the time they are stopped up until the time of disposition of the case. So that's why I'm running for this platform. I think everybody deserves dignity that comes into the court. Everybody deserves kindness and fairness. The victims need to be heard, and the community needs to be safe. So I understand the entire dynamics of the criminal justice system, and I'm asking for everyone's vote.
You got 2 other people you're trying to beat out as I'm looking at this sample ballot. Tell us what makes you different from those 2 other folks that are on the running in this primary.
Okay, so one of them, he has about 50 different stories about how many trials he's had. And I've looked at the Dallas County as well as Collin County, and he has absolutely no trials, although he keeps creating that he does, and creating that he doesn't even have any current clients. And I don't understand how you can call yourself a criminal defense attorney when you have no clients currently. The other lady who's running, she's been a misdemeanor judge for the past 20 years, has had no visibility in the community. And I think the determination of any court is, did you live in a better place when you left the court? The court is going to be in the same place it was since 2006 when she was elected for that bench. So she has had no impact on the community. She does not come to our community. So I'm the better candidate. So I'm asking for everyone's vote.
So tell us, what do you hope to change? You laid out your platform quite a bit right at the top, right? So what do you hope to change with the person that has been in this role for many, many years at this point? What do you hope to change about getting on the bench there?
Okay, he's actually retiring. The person who's been on the bench is actually retiring. And what's interesting about this, the bench, is that when he decided to retire and I announced that I was running, he said he doesn't want a woman in the race, and more particularly that there's too many black women in Dallas County. I'm offended by that. I think it's very misogynist. And they recruited someone to run for this bench. The judiciary should be independent. You shouldn't carry the water for anybody else. You shouldn't, you should run because you truly care about the people, not because someone put you up to run. But one of the things I want to change is technology. Dallas County needs technological advancements in the criminal court, and that's very important. It'll be effective for everyone,
Usually that happens if somebody is calling their phone, so we'll give it a few seconds to see if it picks back up. If you can
Okay,
hear
can you
me,
hear me?
Judge Cooks. Yeah, I can hear you.
It'll be effective for the attorneys who practice in the court, as well as the people who come before the court, the defendants that come before the court, as well as the victims. So it needs technological advancement.
What else do you want to add today? What are your plans today? You getting out? Where can folks meet you? Have you voted yet? Tell us what your plans are for today. Now, if they don't stop calling Judge Cooks, now look, now y'all put them phones on do not disturb. Let me see. She back in here. Let me see. I see you. Now look, you gonna have to, next time you come on, you gonna have to put that phone on do not disturb. Okay. So we got you back in. Go ahead and tell us what your plans are today.
Oh, okay. So the Dallas County, especially in the criminal courts, it's behind on technology. Like you still write things on paper and on docket sheets, and it shouldn't be that way. Everything should be computerized, and people shouldn't get lost in the criminal system because of all the paperwork that occurs. So that there needs to be technological advancement.
And tell us, Judge Cooks, what your plans are today. I was asking all the folks that we've had on, are you going to the polling places? Is there anywhere that folks can meet you out today while you're out and about?
I'm currently at the voting places. I'm always out in the streets, in the community. So hopefully I can run into everyone and need your vote, Judge Kim Cooks.
Where are you right now?
Right now I'm in Cedar Hill.
What voting place in Cedar Hill?
It's Allen Sims Rec Center.
Okay. You know, sometimes folks just want to say hello, and sometimes when y'all are there, they just like to say hello. So I've been asking everybody where they're at. Have you voted this morning yet?
Not yet. I was planning on voting Sunday, souls to the polls.
Okay. I got it. Okay. Well, I appreciate you, Judge Kim Cooks. Any last words before you get out of here?
No last words. Just please go vote. Please go vote early voting because you can vote anywhere in Dallas County, and I'm asking for your vote. Kim Cooks, Judge Kim Cooks for the 194th Criminal District Court.
It's so funny. You got somebody in the comments, LaShonda Wesley, one of our members of the page, say Judge is, quote, in them streets. Thank you so much, Judge. Talk to you later.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Of course. Bye. Okay, we're going to update our banner. Commissioner, how we doing? That static gone? Can you hear me? Oh, no, you didn't.
I can't hear you, Tashara.
So let's see.
In that interview, I could hear Judge Cooks. I could hear her responses. I couldn't hear her questions.
Amani, can you give her a call? And make sure you have her check her.
I can check her.
Make sure you have her check her her speaker at the bottom of the screen when y'all do the checks. That's okay. That's what it's about, okay? I was sure gonna share with her that one comment that Yolanda said, static or not. Oh my goodness, that is too funny. Okay, thank y'all so much for being patient with us, and thank you so much for your comments. For those of you who have weighed in, Destiny, a member of the page, she says, that's my girl, votes Alisa Simmons. She's currently a commissioner for Precinct 2 over in Tarrant County. For those of you that are unfamiliar, she is running for county judge against Judge Tim O'Hare, and I'm praying that we can get her on here so she can just quickly tell us what's going on and why she wants your vote. Yolanda say, baby, we gonna wait for Alisa. She is the truth. Again, LaShonda, thank you for weighing in, one of the members of our page. If you want to become a member, all you have to do is click that join button to do so. So thank you. Lots of love for the commissioner, okay? We definitely want to get her on here so that we can have her voice her policy, her platform. We've talked to her, and we talked to her for a minute. We had talked to her right after the commissioner's court meeting. Was that last week? I think that was last Tuesday. And baby, it felt like I was watching Real Housewives looking at that commissioner's court meeting. First of all, it went all day. And part of the reason that it goes all day with the commissioner's court over in Tarrant County is because they went from, I believe it was 3 meetings at one point. Then they broke it down to 2 meetings. And now they only have 1 meeting per month. That is crazy. 1 meeting per month. And if I'm not mistaken, Commissioner confirmed for us that they get paid over $200,000. And she's like, if I got to have 2 meetings a month, I want to hear what y'all got to say for the money that I'm making. And obviously she makes it clear that she's not doing it for the money. But at the same time, she's like, the least we can do is make sure we have enough meetings to hear from our constituents so that folks don't have to sit and wait in a commissioner's court meeting all day long. Hold on. Let me see who calling me. Hold on. We getting calls right now. Hold on. Okay, that's the candidates calling in. They saying, listen, they trying to get on the show. So Amani, check your text messages. We do have a candidate that wants to get on. I am sending you a message right now to get her on, okay? And to get her on as soon as possible. Okay, so let's try to make that happen. Miss Sims, Amani is going to be on the lookout for that email to make it happen. And I'm also going to share with you her phone number so you have that, Amani. The folks are in the building, okay? Okay, there we go. All right, so look, yeah, we're going to take calls in the middle because, look, if the folks trying to come in and have a conversation, we're going to make sure the folks can have a conversation. Okay, LaShonda says, where are we at? Tashara, this is perfect, bringing on candidates first day of voting. Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate that. Yolanda say, we going to wait for Alisa. She is the truth. Yolanda also talking about static or not. Tim O'Hare gotta go. That is too funny. Y'all are so funny. Okay, so I think we got Commissioner Simmons back on. Let me see if we can get this audio, honey, because it was cutting up. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, and we can hear you. Perfect. Okay. So tell folks your platform. You already clearly got some supporters in the comments already. But for folks who don't know, Commissioner Simmons, tell them your platform, what you stand for, and what office you're running for now.
Okay, I'm currently your county commissioner over in Tarrant County for Precinct 2, Mansfield, Arlington, that area. I am running for county judge. County judge is the county executive. And that person is elected at large by everybody in the county as opposed to in a precinct. So I'm running county-wide. So it's a big campaign for me. I'm going to need all the support I can get. We need to get this county fiscally right-sized. We are already deficit spending in the first quarter and now into the second quarter of the year. And what we want is people to have access to their elected officials without their First Amendment rights being violated. We just last week at Commissioner's Court meeting, our county judge ejected 3 citizens because he didn't like what they had to say. Our commissioner's court is essentially run by immature, thin-skinned racist who is very comfortable with violating your First and your Second Amendment rights as it relates to the county and the commissioner's court. So what I want to do is ensure that our taxpayers are paying the right amount of taxes. They're not being overly taxed. They're not going to end up paying more taxes in the future because we're deficit spending. We've got an inordinate amount of deaths in this county jail, and nobody on that commissioner's court seems to be concerned about the deaths, the human the toll on human life and the cost to the county from all of these lawsuits. We need to make sure our county hospital is adequately funded so it can serve those people who are considered the least of these. And MHMR, mental health, behavioral health services, and support, we need to make sure those things are happening in the county as opposed to eliminating services that take care of those with behavioral and mental health services. There are so many issues in this county. We've got to get somebody in that position, me, who cares about our constituents. This is what we're elected to do, not cut services to those who need them. So there's so much. I appreciate everybody's support in getting that guy out and getting me in to this seat.
Commissioner Simmons, for those who may be unfamiliar overall with what the county judge does, what does the county judge do? Like, can you explain that briefly for us?
Yep. So commissioners' courts are, it's called a court. It's an old-fashioned term. We are not a judicial court. It's just a body of 5 people. And so we run the county, just like school boards run the school districts, city councils run cities. The county commissioners court runs the county. The county judge and all the commissioners, we have the same amount of power. All of us have the same amount of power. The county judge is the county executive and presides over the meetings. It has a couple of other duties that commissioners don't have, like declaring an emergency, but all of us provide oversight to the jail, the district attorney's office, the public health department, the county hospital, well, we don't have human services department anymore because they got rid of it. So you name it, elections this morning. I cannot tell you how many calls I've gotten from people trying to vote. We are particularly having problems with an election judge over at the Mansfield Sub Courthouse. We've got problems throughout.
Hey, hold on. What kind of issues are they running into?
So, some of the issues, when you're walking into the polling places, you got all these candidates out there handing you their information, their business card, their postcard, and so you walk into the polls with that information in your hands. And so one individual was told they had to leave because they were electioneering, meaning because they had some candidate's postcard in their hand. It was a black candidate. It's Junior Izzanu, who's running for State House of Representatives.
Yeah, we just had him on not too long ago.
Yeah, so this person had his postcard in their hand, and the election judge wouldn't let them vote. You can take paper into the ballot, into the polling place. You cannot take your cell phone and open it up and look at it, but you can take paper. So I am working with our elections administrator so we can get some things fixed over there at the Mansfield Sub Courthouse.
My goodness. Yeah. And I do want to remind people that the sample ballots are online for you guys to print out. And that's what Judge Tracy, who's running for Judge Tracy Shelby, told us earlier, to print that sample ballot if you can, or even write it out, because some of these ballots are pretty long. And so to remember some of the names that you're trying to vote for, you might want to have that and have your little cheat sheet with you. So you can take paper, but as Commissioner Simmons just mentioned, you cannot be looking at your phone and all that kind of stuff while you're in there. Anything else, Commissioner Simmons, that you want to share for folks that you're doing today? Where will you be located today? Where can they meet you?
Well, today I'm at a conference.
Okay.
I got to get my continuing education hours as a commissioner, so I like to get that done at the beginning of the year. So I'll be back Thursday, but I've got my team out, my signs are out. I could always use volunteers to work the polls and ask people to vote for me. But I am in Bryan College Station with lots of other commissioners getting my continuing education hours. Be back. I'll be doing Souls to the Polls Sunday. I'll be on these polls Thursday evening and through the rest of the election cycle. Listen, it is now or never. I mean, if we don't flip the Tarrant County Commissioners Court, if we don't flip in Tarrant County as many Republican seats as possible, this is it. This is it. And I don't know what else to tell you. This is the time to get people out to vote. If you don't do it now, I mean, I don't know when else.
What you say now?
You got Donald Trump, you got Greg Abbott, you got those clowns running for Senate, and right here in your own footprint, you've got Tim O'Hare, who disrespects constituents. Really, he's an equal opportunity disrespecter. He is kicking people out, shutting people up, tried to shut me up last time. It is just insane. We've got to get professional, responsible leadership in these positions that care about the people we are supposed to serve. So thank you for this opportunity. And I just know we're speaking to the choir. The people that listen to your show are gonna go vote, right?
Yeah.
Let's be clear. Y'all, you've got to go get your neighbors, your family. I've already just listening to people in the background while talking to other people. People are going to vote for one person.
Yeah.
They're going to vote for Jasmine Crockett. And they're not voting down ballot. We
wow.
need to vote down the ballot. Just because, please try to do your research, do what the others have said before me, try to print your sample ballot, or just at least look at it and write some names on a piece of paper. But you cannot go in there and vote for one person. There's so many qualified candidates on the ballot. You've got to go from the top to the bottom of the ballot.
Yeah, you absolutely cannot do that. That is the goal of the primary season, to go ahead and get the candidates that you want on the ballot for November. And I think it's so important. And I'm so happy that Commissioner Simmons mentioned it. You can't go in there and just vote for one race at the top and then not worry about the rest of them. That's why it's so long. You need to go through the names. We ain't been on here for 2 hours for nothing. Look, we bringing everybody in here so we can make sure y'all know what's going on. All right.
And county judge is at the bottom. All those judicial races, Judge Kim Cooks, that stuff is at the bottom, and you just got to keep going. We want you to vote. I want you to vote for Jasmine, but we need you to go all the way down the ballot.
All the way down the ballot, and so many folks sharing their sentiments regarding Tim O'Hare in the comments. Yolanda Bledsoe, disgustingly disrespectful. Dee Kenner saying she's glad her sister is in your district and could vote for you. So just a lot of comments and, support in the comments. So thank you so much, Commissioner Simmons. I'm glad we got the audio worked out, but that's what independent media can do. We can boot you out. Come on back in. Thank you so much and good luck today. Yeah.
Thanks for doing this. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Absolutely. Talk later. Bye-bye. Okay, you guys. Oh, that was so good. I'm so happy that we were able to get her on, and I'm so happy for all of you staying with us and sticking with us, and for your patience as we were having the candidates on today. Councilman Chris Nettles is in my family. Oh, thank you, Evangelist Jackson, for mentioning that. Kim Webb saying you agree with the commissioner. Thank you so much. Destiny, thank you again for being a member of the channel. Amani, I don't know where we're going next, and if we need to chat with anybody to get them on. Okay, so we had a couple of people that were pending to jump on. Can you, Amani, give those two a call and see if we can get them on now? Because at some point I'm gonna need a little lunch. And I know you're gonna need a little lunch too, because you have not left that seat. Because you've been on here with me, unless you've been getting your little snacks in the background, but I've been talking the whole time. So yeah, we gonna need us a little break, but we was prepared for the long call because we knew that we wanted to do this and we knew we wanted to have this conversation. So I'm so thankful for all of you for being on here. The Tashara Parker Show, I could just cry. So many happy tears. My 2025, y'all. Oh my God. My 2025 was interesting. It was a lot. And I think it was a season that the Lord was showing me that if I get you through this, you won't be able to give anybody credit but me. And when I think about what I learned during that season, and as I'm still learning, I think that was the overall goal. Nobody can get credit for bringing me out of 2025 and the season that 2025 was, but God and God himself. And so, anyways, I just wanted to share that because today has been so good and reaffirming of why we started the Tashara Parker Show and why I thought it was important to make sure that we continue to uplift voices that often go unheard. I think it's very, very important that we continue to do so. Who is this? Elaine sent, yes, Jasmine Crockett will be at Oaklawn at 1 p.m. What is this? Maybe someone can get her to come on. That would be amazing. I mean, you know, we can do certain things over here. Let me see if I can get on. Let me see. Y'all gonna stick around for it? Y'all better blow it out the water if we can. You know I'm gonna try. I'm gonna send it to her, and then I'm gonna send it to her folks. Let's see. Amani, can you text me the link for folks to get on? So that I can send that to them? That's the direct link you just sent me? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Cause why not? We gonna try. And let me try one more person. So Amani, go ahead and call the other folks you just mentioned via text and see if we can make it happen. I see we have someone just joined us, so we're gonna bring her in just a second. Let me finish sending this text message because we are definitely gonna try to get these folks on. Now, both of the last folks that I just reached out to, it would certainly be a surprise if it happens. So we're gonna keep hope alive. Let's see. Amani, I'm gonna send you a number, and then we'll figure it out. Okay, so hold on. Let me send. Okay, so we do have another candidate who saw us live and was like, hey, you got the candidates on. Hey, we need to all be on here and sharing what we're running for and what our platforms are. So I do want to bring in another Tarrant County candidate, Miss Dion Sims, the granddaughter of Miss Opal Lee, y'all. How you doing, Dion?
Hello, Tashara. I'm doing good. How about you?
I am well. Thank you so much for asking, and thank you so much for reaching out. That's what today has been all about. We've had folks, again, they see us live and they reach out and we make it happen. And that's the power of independent media and independent journalism. So tell folks, Dion, what you're running for over in Tarrant County.
So I am running for Congress, actually, CD 25. And so I have a primary opponent. And so my goal is to win the primary so that I can face Roger Williams in November.
What areas is that, Dion, included in 25?
So 25 was redistricted and redrawn through the gerrymandering this summer. And so it busted up Mark VC's 33. So the Tarrant County part was put into 3 other Republican districts. So this one now includes Meadowbrook, Stop 6, Southeast Fort Worth, Campus Drive, Old Wyatt, Eastern Hills, and then it goes east on 30 all the way to Arlington and 360, and then it cuts up 360 to Trinity Boulevard, gets a little bit of FAA over by the airport, and then we drop south. Got Southwest Fort Worth, Burleson, Crowley, Wedgwood, Candle Ridge, and then it goes west to the original part of 35, which is 12 other counties in West Texas.
That is, if y'all could see how this looks on a map, it is insane how they redrew this district and just, oh my God. Dion, I want you to
for sure.
100%. I want you to tell folks what your platform is all about and why they should look for your name on the ballot.
So my platform is about freedom. You know, I helped make Juneteenth a national holiday with my grandmother. And so those freedoms that we enjoy as Americans, not just African Americans, but Americans are under attack. And so it's about making sure that you have the freedom to live and not just survive, but thrive. So that means affordability. That means having a living wage. And then it's about health care and making sure that our health care and universal health care so that everybody is covered is a right. And then we've got to make sure that our small businesses are able to flourish. These tariffs are making their inventories, making their abilities to even function as a small business come under attack. So all of these things are hurting people. And so we've got to bring humanity back into our government. And one of the things that our current representative isn't doing is protecting the folks that he's supposed to be representing.
And as it relates to what makes you different from your opponents, can you talk about what makes you different from who you're running against?
Well, I am raised here, born here, Fort Worth. I have been a part of the community and making sure to empower individuals through Unity Unlimited and the things that we do with Juneteenth and our nonprofit. I have served in helping to make the National Juneteenth Museum a reality. I have helped folks get jobs. We have Opal's Farm. So food insecurity. So all these things that we've been doing local to Tarrant County and Texas are what I've done, where I've cut my teeth, as they would say.
What else should folks know about you, Dion, as it relates to this race? That's just about yourself. What else should they know when they are at the polls? They're looking at this long old ballot, okay, and they get to your name, your section. What else do you want them to remember when they're making that decision?
The one thing that I do want them to remember, Tashara, is that it takes all of us. And that getting into this race was not, a political aspiration of mine, but I saw them taking away our voice and our vote, and it compelled me. It really called to me that somebody had to step up. And it's not that I didn't have anything else to do and that I was just looking to add something else to my plate. But I know that we need to have our voice in Tarrant County represented. And if nothing else, we have got to stop the hemorrhaging of our country. And what I've always been told, of late is that, we don't have any authority because we're in the minority. And so we can't do anything. Well, I'm here. I said, I've got the motivation. I've got the willingness to serve, to help us to flip this seat blue, because what's happening now can't continue to happen, or we won't have a democracy. We won't have an
Mm.
America. So that is the reason why I'm running.
My goodness. Oh, you done preached to us today. Tell us real quick, what are your plans for today? I see you already out and about. A lot of y'all have joined from your car, and I absolutely love it. Where are you headed to? Did you vote already? And tell folks maybe where they can meet you, maybe where they'll run into you today.
So I was at the Southwest Sub Courthouse earlier. I did not vote because I had a full agenda today. Right now, I'm headed to a senior living community here in the district because they want to know. That's the one thing we cannot allow our seniors to think that they, like my grandmother says, sit in a rocking chair and wait for the Lord to come and get them. And their vote is just as important. And so I'm going to talk to seniors today about Black history, but also about their vote and why it's important. So if you've got grandmothers, great aunts that are out there and they put in their mail-in ballot, please make sure they get them back in, or take them to vote. And don't tell them to, maybe mom, it's not this time, not this time. No, great granny, grandma, we need you right now. And that's why it's really, really important that they not feel left out. And so make them feel empowered, because that's their right.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. We had Commissioner Simmons on actually right before you, and she was saying, I know she knows we're preaching to the choir with most of the folks that watch, but I will beg to differ just a little bit. She encouraged folks to bring other people with them. So yes, when you're going to vote, yes, you're going to cast your ballot, but make sure you bring other people along the way, and make sure we're not forgetting about those who are closest to us, especially the seniors that are in our family. So Dion Sims, Texas 25, thank you so much for weighing in, and thank you for hopping on so quickly. Good luck in your race.
Thank you, Tashara.
Talk later. Bye-bye. Okay. I am so happy. Destiny says, I like her. Oh, good. I'm so happy that we were able to get her on today. Again, that's what I love about independent media and independent journalism. When we need to change things on the fly, we can do that, right? And if I have folks reach out to me, or if I reach out to them, we're going to definitely do our best to try to get folks on. So Destiny, thank you for joining our channel and being a member of the channel. I'm going to say that as much as I need to. And thank you for weighing in on Miss Dion there. She has done a lot of work in the community. So it's great to see her running for office and doing what she is doing. So let me get this out now. Not my thing gonna pop up talking about an update, baby. We're not updating nothing right now. We're not updating nothing. Okay. Yolanda saying, I love it. Yep, she is a pleasure. Thank you so much. Hey, Maxie, thank you so much for tapping in. Maxie is also a member of the Tashara Parker Show and the Tashara Parker channel. You guys becoming members is what helps us thrive. But also, if you're watching, make sure you're commenting, make sure you're liking, make sure you have subscribed. All of that is free. Make sure you've done all those things. But if you want to support us in other ways, you can certainly join the channel and become a member. So Maxie, thank you so much. Appreciate you being a member of the Tashara Parker Show and of the Tashara Parker Show channel. Yes, independent, INDEPENDENT. Let me see what my producer doing in the back. She over there looking stressed, honey. Let me see. She say, okay, where is he? Tell him to come on. Oh, one of the folks that we were trying to get on is midair, so that's not happening. And I didn't hear back from our other one. What is this? Oh, man, they're all on planes. Everybody on a plane. Everybody on a plane. Y'all know we want to talk to y'all. Everybody on a plane right now. God, doggy. Maybe we can come back on live later and see if we can talk to folks. Destiny say, baby, I'm already planning to go hard for the midterm. I love that. I love that. Maxie, yes, we will definitely check that email. Amani, our producer in the background. Maxie, one of our members of the show, says he sent us an email. So we definitely need to make sure we get on that. I don't think it was about today, but just in general. Because we want to make sure we take care of our members, okay? My producer is telling me we do have at least one more person that's gonna come on real quick. Okay, and we're gonna talk to him in just a second. She's getting over the details. Oh, that was fast. Okay. All right. So, folks, we have one of the candidates running for Dallas County Clerk, DeMarcus Offord. Let me make sure I say that name right. Did I say that last name right? If I didn't, go ahead and correct me. How you doing? Look, not you already freezing, DeMarcus. We're going to kick you out and you're going to have to come back. Okay, man, we almost had him in here. That's DeMarcus Offord, folks. He is running for Dallas County Clerk. So we're going to try to get him back in a bit. So DeMarcus L. Offord. I'm not sure if, DeMarcus, if you can hear me, it looks like you're frozen as I see you right now. If you can wave your hand when you can hear me, but maybe give DeMarcus a call, Amani, if you have his number, and try to get him on back up in here. What's this say? D. Kenner say, yeah, we know elevate. Oh, thank you. We know what that means. We must get Tracy Shelby in the 298th. Oh, Tracy spoke a word today, honey. A word. Lord have mercy. So if we can get DeMarcus back in here, he'll be not hopefully, because if other folks tap in, they tap in. He'll be our last candidate for today, but we're just trying to check on his service because when he came in, he was frozen. How's everybody doing? How was this? How did it feel? Did you guys enjoy this? I know I did. I'm gonna have to give me some lunch in a minute. Yes, I said lunch. Okay, I'm gonna have to give me some lunch. All right. Because T is hungry. I got this coffee behind me. Oh, you know what? I do have a little OJ back here. One thing about it, this mic is so good. Let me show you. Y'all heard that? Oh, and by the way, I wish Ashley Moran was on here. Who was on here? She's a member of our page too. Who was on here the other day when that lady who ain't never been on our lives came in here? She was on YouTube and she was like, "Oh, your mic sounds terrible." When I say she was going off, well, that's all she said, but it hurt my feelings. So whatever. Anyway, it really didn't hurt my feelings. What I love is that so many of you jumped in and was like, her mic sounds fine. It sounds great. Meanwhile, I know my mic sounds terrible because me and my producer was trying to figure it out for many days. So I did pay somebody to come over here and help me fix my mic. And when I tell you, first of all, the person was here for 2 hours. 2 hours. But within the last 5 minutes of the person being here, they figured it out. And y'all can't tell me this audio isn't crisp. Please tell me the audio is crisp. Yes, because it is. DeMarcus, if you can hear me in the background, just wave your hand. I want to make sure you're not frozen again. Wave your hand. Okay, he is back. Oh, hold on. Before I bring in DeMarcus, we have a new member of the show. Hold on. Let me find my little... Yes, because that's what we do around here. Thank you so much, Patricia Hicks, 6371. Patricia, we're going to get you another username, but that's all right. You probably done had that username for a long time. Thank you, Patricia Hicks, for becoming a member of the Tashara Parker Show. I tell you all the time that the way that we are become sustainable in independent media and independent journalism is by your support. So if you are subscribed, that helps. That is free to do. Make sure you subscribe to the Tashara Parker Show over on YouTube. And that's for those of you who are watching us perhaps on Facebook. Come over, subscribe, and make sure you're liking and commenting on the page, all that good stuff, so that we can know that you support us and we can share the video with other folks and they find out about the work that we are doing. Shantae says, I am enjoying this forum. LaShonda says, I was here. You talking about when that lady was talking about my audio? I'm just saying, don't it sound good? It sounds good right now. That man was here and within the last 5 minutes, oh, the audio sounds great. I was like, now you could have did that for the last 2 hours. Yeah. Anyway, the audio sounds great. But yes, thank you. I'm so glad that so many of you have enjoyed the conversation so far. DeMarcus, if you want to come back on screen, we are ready to bring you on so that we can get our conversation started. I think we lost his video. Now, DeMarcus. Marcus. Y'all remember what's that movie? What's that movie? Oh my God. With Eddie Murphy. I cannot think of the name of the movie. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If somebody know what I'm talking about. Put it in the comments. Kim Webb say the audio is crispy. I know. I paid enough coin to make sure it was crispy. Because at first he was saying, maybe we just need to get you a new mic, a new cord, a new this. I'm like, oh no. We done paid too much money for this mic. And we done had this mic all this time. And all of a sudden it's not going to be crispy anymore. Oh, please. So Maxie, boomerang. Thank you, Rachel. That's what I was thinking. Boomerang. Old school, old school. There are certain movies that you can just watch and they just gonna be funnier the older it gets. Okay. We got another member. Oh, period. I'm blessed. 9506. Hold on. Let me get your little Yes, thank you so much. I'm blessed. 9506. We have been on here all of 2 hours and 43 minutes, and we've had a couple of people join as members, and we are okay with that. Okay, thank y'all so much. If you have a friend or somebody who can subscribe, they can do that for free. Share this page. That is why we do what we do, so that we can continue sharing the message. All right. So I'm blessed 9506. I am so thankful that you have become a member. And thank you to Maxie as well, who is also a member of the show. He says he likes this format. Thank you, Maxie. We're certainly trying out different means of making it happen. So I appreciate you guys for coming along on the journey. I know oftentimes when it comes to doing anything new or anything new in life, I should say, we don't show people the process enough. And so what I love about showing you guys the process is not only are you seeing me deal with mic issues, or are you seeing folks deal with technology issues, it's all good, because when we get to the point where we don't have those issues, y'all gonna be like, I remember when. And I love that you can remember when, okay? So DeMarcus, we're going to try to hold out and wait a couple of more minutes. Amani, I'm not sure if you're talking to him in the background so that we can figure out what's going on. But we do want to get him on here. He's running for county clerk. And I think that's a very important position to discuss. So DeMarcus, and we haven't had him on the show at all. So I would love to get him on if that's possible. We see that he's in the green room. We have a virtual green room that you guys can't see. We see he's in the green room. And so we're just trying to make sure that we can get his video. What to say? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They're trying, to get DeMarcus offered in. Well, I do apologize. Because I'm about to crash in a minute. T need a little lunch. I'm gonna let Amani make this last little call, but if we can't get him in, that's gonna be the end of it. And so I just appreciate you guys for joining us and appreciate you for your support of the Tashara Parker Show. I feel like we have been informed, we have been educated, we have been supported, we have been preached to, preached over, preached on, all the things. We've got some tea today. We've got some clap back today from other folks. And I'm so grateful and so thankful for this community and for those of you who continue to support me. And I do want to share one last website with you, because I want to make sure my people are informed, and that not only are you informed, but you are informing someone else. It is so incredibly important that we inform other people, because a lot of us hold on, let me get this up. As was mentioned in our show earlier, we are aware of what we need to be doing. A lot of us are, but what we are not doing is bringing others to the poll with us. So if you need any information, votetexas.gov. That's the Secretary of State, Jane Nelson. Okay, Jane. Primary election, that's what folks are voting in right now. Early voting kicked off today. That is February 17th, and you can see it. Can you see my little marker on the screen? Oh, y'all can't. There we go. Okay. So early voting kicked off today, again, February 17th. And I love this because it gives you all these different links for information that you perhaps need to make sure that you make an educated decision when you go in there. Again, vote all the way down the ballot. Please don't just vote for the race that most of us are familiar with the Texas U.S. Senate seat for James Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett. the reason that those races are so big and so many other folks are running too, is to obviously push you to go to the ballot box, but also to remind you to vote all the way down the ballot. Voting for just one race ain't gonna do it, okay? It ain't gonna cut it this time around. So make sure you go and vote, and you vote all the way down ballot. Let me see what my producer's saying. Okay, no problem. Okay, so you want to come say bye to everybody? You've been working hard back there. Yes, no? You bring yourself up if you want to come say bye. I'm not going to bring you up this time. You got to get off mute. You ain't going to get off mute? She's a little shy.
See how unprepared. I'm shy. Hi. Bye.
That is fine. I wasn't going to bring on. She's definitely doing some great work behind the scenes, as she is an apprentice with the Tashara Parker Show. So we've just been training her on producing for the last 2 months now. And so the goal is to make sure she's trained up. So if there's anybody out there who needs someone with her skill set, she's here and she's learning. And she's learning from one of the best. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Woo! Anyway, thank y'all so much. Amani, thank you so much for your hard work in the background. It was a lot to try to get all these candidates on, and we literally only had 24 hours. But I told her one thing about being in TV is that we move fast and we move quick. And it's not about having everything figured out. It's about making sure that we are on it. And if she learns anything in this apprenticeship, she is going to learn how to move quickly, how to research, and how to strategically make things happen. So thank you, everybody. Pour into somebody else this week. Make sure you take somebody else to vote with you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for weighing in. To all of our new members, I'm so thankful for your support. And we'll be back right here tomorrow. And I think I got something good for you tomorrow. I emailed them earlier, so we're going to see if they responded. So, okay, folks, let me get all my stuff. Make sure you support independent journalism. If you want to become a member of the page, you can click the join button. We have very affordable memberships, and I would love for you to support. Make sure you like the page. You heard us talking to one of our members, Maxie, earlier. He mentioned that he emailed us. We're going to check on that as soon as we get out of here. But if you have something or want to talk about something, to email us. media@tasharaparker.com is how you can find us. Have a great day. I'm going to go vote like Yolanda did earlier and the sisters. And so we're going to make that vote happen. And then also one last thing, make sure you keep the family of Jesse in your Reverend Jesse Jackson, in your prayers, because they are certainly going to need it as they get through this season. Okay, so have a good rest of your day, folks. Go vote. You have more than enough information to make it happen. VoteTexas.gov. Bye, y'all. Hey, cousins, thank you so much for watching. Your support is how we keep going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. I know you hear me say it all the time, but all of that impacts the algorithm and folks finding out about the Tashara Parker Show. We want to make sure you never miss a show as well. We are live every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. and sometimes some special episodes. If you support the work that we're doing here, please consider becoming a member of the Tashara Parker Show. You can do all of this by visiting our YouTube page. Thanks so much for supporting the work that we're doing here. We could not do any of this without all of you. Thank you.